नमस्कार, बहुत-बहुत स्वागत है गाइज़ आपके अपने चैनल KFCS पर। गाइज़ आज मतलब क्या बोलें ऐसा लग रहा है कि जैसे कहते हैं ना जब किस्मत खराब होती है, तो इंसान जीत के भी हार जाता है, यही हुआ है आज इंडियन टीम के साथ। इंडिया टीम यार ये मैच हारी मतलब इस पूरे वर्ल्ड कप में फाइनली मिला था आपको हारने के लिए। अगर मैं रियलिटी से बात करूँ, ऑस्ट्रेलिया और इंडिया का जो मैच होने से पहले यार कितनी बातें हो रही थी, कितने एक्साइटेड थे हम कि यार आज ये फाइनल जीत जाएँगे हम। फिर हमारा 12 साल का इंतज़ार खत्म हो जाएगा, फिर हम एक डोमिनेट करेंगे टीम। हमारी टीम इस वर्ल्ड कप में सबसे शानदार बॉलिंग है। कितनी सारी बातचीत थी कि यार हमारे पास मोहम्मद शमी है, हमारे पास सिराज है, हमारे पास बुमराह है। पर रियलिटी क्या है वो ऑस्ट्रेलिया ने हमें दिखाई। रियलिटी यही है, यार आप जब फाइनल खेलने आते हैं तो आपको पर्सनल माइलस्टोन को साइड में रखना होता है, टीम को पहले रखना होता है। मेरे हिसाब से यही हुआ है। मेरे साथ है अभिनव जो इस बात को ज़रूर समझेंगे, जो कि पर्सनली रोहित को बहुत ज़्यादा फ़ेवर करते हैं, उनके इनिंग्स को देखते हैं, समझते हैं। बिल्कुल, दिल टूट गया अभिनव भाई और यार अभिनव मैं सोच रहा था कि यार रोहित शर्मा की कैप्टेंसी में हमें फाइनली वर्ल्ड कप मिल जाएगा, लेकिन मिला नहीं। यार आप ये बताओ मुझे, आप फैन हो रोहित शर्मा के बहुत तगड़े फैन हो। यार इस मैच के बाद क्या आपको यकीन हो रहा है कि यार ये रोहित शर्मा बेस्ट कैप्टन है? रियली? यार मेरे को एक बात बताओ, फाइनल का मैच है, ठीक है? आपने रन्स कर लिए, क्या ज़रूरत थी छक्के-चौके लगाने का, 2 शॉट को खेलने का? मेरे को कोई ये क्वेश्चन का जवाब दे दे, स्टार्ट मिल चुका है टीम इंडिया को, ऑलरेडी शुभमन गिल आउट हो चुका है, आपके साथ विराट कोहली है, आपको विराट कोहली को सपोर्ट करना था, वहाँ पे विकेट्स फेंक के नहीं जाने थे। एमएस धोनी इसीलिए अलग नहीं है। एमएस धोनी में वो बात थी 2011 में जब वर्ल्ड कप हुआ था, आपने देखा किस तरह से एमएस धोनी ने रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज़ ली, नहीं मैं मैच खत्म करूँगा जाके। उसने अनहोनी होने ही नहीं दी। स्टार्टिंग में हमारा सहवाग आउट हो गया था जल्दी से, सचिन आउट हो गया, विराट कोहली आउट हो गए थे, 2011 की बात कर रहा हूँ मैं और गंभीर अकेले जूझ रहे थे। वहाँ पे सपोर्टिंग रोल में आए एमएस धोनी। आराम से खेलते रहे जब तक गंभीर अपने शॉट्स लगा रहे थे। जब देखा कि अब एक्सेलरेट करने का टाइम आया, तो एक्सेलरेट किया, नॉट ओनली एक्सेलरेट किया बल्कि जाके मैच को फिनिश किया। ये बनाता है उस खिलाड़ी को बहुत-बहुत स्पेशल। यार 4 ट्रॉफी तो एमएस धोनी ने भी जिताई है। एमएस धोनी सबसे कंसिस्टेंट कैप्टन रहे चेन्नई सुपर किंग के लिए। इंडिया को 2 आईसीसी ट्रॉफीज़ जिताई। ऐसे ही नहीं जिताई है क्योंकि एक प्लानिंग होती है, प्लानिंग ही नहीं था फाइनल के लिए अगर मैं बात करूँ तो रियलिटी में कोई भी प्लानिंग नहीं था, कुछ भी नहीं था। क्या कह रहे हो आप? आउट कोई नहीं होना चाहता है पर रोहित इसी इंटेंट के साथ खेला पूरे वर्ल्ड कप। अभिनव भाई मेरे को एक बात बताओ, एक इंटेंट के साथ खेले बहुत अच्छी बात है बट फाइनल जब होता है ना, तो कैप्टन को खुद को समझना होता है कि यार मैंने अगर मारा है ना, तो मेरे को बीच में स्लो भी होना है, मेरे को तेज़ भी होना है। यार इतने साल से खेल रहे हो आप, ये कोई ऐसा तो नहीं है 1-2 साल में और ये 1-2 साल की बात थोड़ी है, आप तो बहुत पुराने प्लेयर हो यार 2015 से कंटिन्यू खेल रहे हो, तुम्हें ओपनर बनाया एमएस धोनी ने। तो ओपनर बनाया था, आपको तो बहुत लकीएस्ट हो कि आपको सबसे ज़्यादा बॉल्स मिलती है। मैं समझता हूँ रोहित शर्मा को आज एक एंड खड़ा होना चाहिए था, खड़े होकर खेलना चाहिए था। वो शॉट का कोई मतलब ही नहीं है। चलो रोहित शर्मा आउट हो गए, उसके बाद मेरे को समझ में ये नहीं आया क्या किया ये श्रेयस अय्यर ने। श्रेयस अय्यर ने वो क्या शॉट खेला मेरे को समझ नहीं आता यार मतलब ऐसे भी कोई आउट होता है। श्रेयस अय्यर से मैं बहुत ज़्यादा दुखी हूँ कि यार आज मौका था श्रेयस अय्यर के पास। शुभमन गिल यार तुम्हारी बात बिल्कुल ठीक है। मिडल ओवर्स में बहुत स्लो हो गए थे बैटर्स। स्लो हो गए थे भाई ठीक है, मैं ये भी मानता हूँ कि विराट कोहली भी बीच-बीच में स्लो हो जाता था। बट यार विराट कोहली पे हम पूरा नहीं डाल सकते ना क्योंकि उसने पूरे टूर्नामेंट में कंट्रीब्यूट किया। अगर टीम एक साइड हो जाती थी, तो एक साइड पे विराट कोहली खड़ा रहता था। और एक चीज़, यार आज की विकेट थी स्लो। मेरे को एक बात बताओ श्रेयस अय्यर हम तो कहते हैं यार बहुत बढ़िया प्लेयर है खेलने वाला। हम ये बोलते थे 2019 के बाद से हमारा सबसे बेस्ट प्लेयर अगर कोई चौथे नंबर पे है वो है श्रेयस अय्यर। सबसे ज़्यादा रन्स किसके? श्रेयस अय्यर। अगर मेन मोमेंट पे अगर आप धोखा दे रहे हो इंडिया टीम को तो काहे के बेस्ट प्लेयर यार? किस चीज़ के बेस्ट प्लेयर? अपने घर में वर्ल्ड कप नहीं जीत पा रहे हो, ये सबसे बड़ी शर्म की बात तो यही है। केएल राहुल इतना स्लो नहीं खेला यार। केएल राहुल मैं बताऊं तुम्हें, इंडियन टीम में जबरदस्ती इसका लोड ढो रही है। केएल राहुल की कोई जरूरत ही नहीं थी। सबसे बड़ा अनफॉर्चुनेट तो ये था कि यार ऋषभ पंत नहीं था हमारे पास। ऋषभ पंत होता तो डायरेक्ट कीपर बनता वो, ठीक है। केएल राहुल की हमें जरूरत नहीं थी, और मेरे को लगता है केएल राहुल से भी ऊपर ईशान किशन होना चाहिए था। ईशान किशन को प्रॉपर विकेट कीपिंग आती है यार। कितने बॉल्स छोड़े आज रोए केएल राहुल ने। और इतना स्लो कौन खेलता है भाई? और स्लो खेलने के बाद बंदा आउट हो रहा है। मतलब यार जब तुम्हारी जरूरत थी तब तुम आउट हो गए, और किस तरह से आउट हुए? वही सेम डिसमिसल जो 2019 में हुआ था केएल राहुल के साथ। केएल राहुल को तो मैं कहता हूँ अब खिलाने की कोई आवश्यकता ही नहीं है। यार इस तरह से कीपिंग होती है? बॉल पकड़ी नहीं जा रही तुमसे, इतना स्लो खेलते हो। स्लो खेला तो चलो कोई बात नहीं, 50 ओवर तक टिक तो जाते यार, एटलीस्ट 250 रन लगा देते, 260 रन होता, हम कुछ खेल जाते। शुभमन गिल लूज शॉट, यार देखो शुभमन गिल ने लूज शॉट खेला, बट मैं इतना माइंड नहीं करूंगा शुभमन गिल को, क्योंकि ये अभी न्यू प्लेयर है, पहला वर्ल्ड कप है, होता है। बट यार शुभमन गिल अभी दिसंबर में आया है, पॉइंट अभी दिसंबर में हुआ है। तो मैं ज्यादा उसके लिए कमेंट नहीं करूंगा, बट यही कहूंगा कि एक अच्छा मौका था जो उसने मिस किया, क्योंकि ये अहमदाबाद उसके लिए एक होम ग्राउंड की तरह है। विराट कोहली वॉज सेंसिबल बैटर टुडे, पर उसका बैड लक था, प्लेड हो गया आज। बिल्कुल, यहाँ सेंसिबली यार देखो, दुनिया तो बहुत कुछ कहती है विराट कोहली को यार, अपने माइलस्टोन के लिए खेलता है पर्सनली, ये वो बहुत कुछ। यार एक बात बताओ, जब भी सेंचुरी करने गया ना वो, उसने निश्चित सुनिश्चित किया कि इंडिया टीम जीत जाएगी और हमें कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, उसके बाद फिर मैं अपने माइलस्टोन के लिए खेलूंगा। तो एग्जैक्टली यही हुआ है, ठीक है। विराट कोहली को मैं कुछ नहीं कहूंगा, यही कहूंगा कि यार विराट कोहली अगर आज नहीं होता ना, तो आप आज गर्व करने के लिए आपके पास कुछ नहीं था। आज आप बोलते यार क्या है, वर्ल्ड कप हार गए, मूड ऑफ है, ये है। कुछ चीजें हैं सेलिब्रेट करने के लिए, ठीक है। मुझे कल से लग डर था, नॉकआउट में इंडिया के मैच पहले हमेशा की तरह डर लग, यार डर मुझे भी लग रहा था यार। रियलिटी में बताऊं अभिनव, मैं कल पापा को भी कह रहा था, बहुत सारे लोगों के मन में थी मेरी बात, मैं किसी को कहना नहीं चाहता था, ऑस्ट्रेलिया जीत रही है वर्ल्ड कप, मेरे को लग रहा था। क्योंकि यार ये स्टेटमेंट अगर कोई एक कैप्टन दे देना कि मैं क्राउड को साइलेंट कर दूंगा, तो तुम समझ लो कि क्या कॉन्फिडेंस है पैट कमिंस के पास। बात करेंगे आज ऑस्ट्रेलिया टीम के बारे में, पहले बात करेंगे, उसके बाद बात करेंगे हम इंडियन टीम के बारे में भी। तो चलिए सबसे पहले बात करते हैं राहुल अय्यर से। हेलो राहुल, हाउ आर यू? I know it is not easy for you to come in live, but we have to wake up, and we have to start from zero. We all know now wait is continue, but Rahul, I know you can control your emotions and have some words for Team India.
To be honest, I've been on a lot of shows. I've come live on Bhavesh's show during the last few months. During the IPL, I was coming live on Bhavesh's show a lot. I've done a few podcasts with Hasnain. I've come live on Pawan's show as well. I've been coming live with you almost every day, but I think this is the toughest one for me.
Yeah,
I'm
of
this
course.
is the toughest uh, live to come on today because yeah, I mean we've seen India losing matches. I mean, in sports, winning and losing, it's part and parcel of life. But it's hard to digest this one. It's host nation. We
Yeah,
were
no one
unbeaten in
can
the
digest.
tournament.
Yeah, no one can digest.
Yeah,
Unbeaten so
this
far.
is yeah, this definitely hurts the most. We were the host nation. We were unbeaten in the tournament, coming into the final, and I even said it before. I was very confident. I mean, Pat Cummins was talking about silencing the crowd, but we felt that Australia would feel the weight of the crowd when they come onto the field. With 132,000 cheering on India, we really thought. I really felt that the crowd would, get India through. It unfortunately, didn't happen. It's a crushing defeat. Now, ICC trophies are eluding India since 2013. now. And
But Rahul,
yeah,
this is a very
and
big
this defeat
statement.
hurts the most. Of course, there was the humiliation in the 2017 Champions Trophy against Pakistan. I understand that. Yes, losing to Pakistan is never fun as an Indian fan, but uh, that is a Champions Trophy. This is a World Cup. This is a home World Cup, that too. And it's this is probably the toughest defeat to digest. It's yeah, it's a crushing defeat.
Well, Rahul, means big point is Pat Cummins' confidence. Means he's saying in press conference that we will silence the crowd, and he succeed. Finally, he succeed. He said nothing
Well,
about that.
see, Australia's well, now a six-time world champion for a reason. They're six-time world champions for a reason. Of course, Pakistan. Yes, will a team like Pakistan will get intimidated by crowds and give excuses after losing a game. That's not what Aussies do. Making excuses is not in the blood of Aussies. They're overall, Australia is a nation with a sporting culture. Pawan will know all about it as he's in Australia right now. For Australia, cricket is one of many sports. It's not the only sport like in India. In India, cricket is basically the only sport. You can say football is having a rising popularity. Hockey is having a rising popularity. Maybe kabaddi, yes, but in India, cricket is number one. It's the undisputed number one. For Australia, cricket is one of many sports. It's not everything.
Yeah, it's not the
For
number
them,
one sport also
and
for Australia.
and
Yeah.
Australia in general, they've got a sporting culture. They don't consider any sport as being the only thing for them, and it shows in the way they are competitive on the field as well. In every sport, they manage to field not just competitive teams that have trophy winning mentality. The only sporting event really where I can say Australia gets overshadowed is in the Olympics, where US and China dominate all the medals. But you look at any other
Yeah.
sporting event, and you will always see Australia being
Yes,
competitive, having a
True, even
competitive.
in Commonwealth Games as well. Yeah.
Even in FIFA World Cup, Australia may not be a contender for winning the FIFA World Cup by any means, but they always qualify for the FIFA World Cup easily, comfortably. They don't have any problems in qualifying for the FIFA World Cup. And yeah, one can say that Australia, when they qualify for the FIFA World Cup, they play in Asia, ironically, but they would have done the same in Oceania as well, if they played in Oceania with New Zealand and all that. But okay, I'm digressing a bit here, but Australia is a nation with a sporting culture, and they show it in every sport they play. They've showed it in cricket. They're arguably the greatest cricketing nation of all time right now. If you had to choose a goat cricketing nation, it would have to be Australia, and they've shown it in the last 3 years.
Yeah, I think
2021
in
they won the
both men's
T20
and
World Cup,
women's. Hmm,
and
I
this year
agree.
they've won the World Test Championship and the ODI World Cup this year. Many people think Australia has declined in cricket. There was a time when people thought Australia was declining in cricket, and this team, to be
never.
honest, doesn't get enough credit. To be frank, because they are very overshadowed by the previous generation of Ponting, McGrath, Shane Warne, Steve Waugh, and all that, etc., etc. But look at this team. This team has won so many trophies. I've been saying it since before the final, even. Even in today's Australian team, seven out of the playing 11 in today's Australian team were part of the 2015 World Cup squad, and five of them played that final, the one at the MCG. In the Indian team, we have to be very honest. Were saying this is unbeaten India playing Australia, like unbeaten Australia was playing India in 2003 final. But we have to look at the reality. 10 out of the 11 players in this Indian team were playing in their first World Cup final, and only Virat Kohli has won the ODI World Cup, and he won in the 2011
World Cup
World
final.
Cup. He
Yeah.
played a valuable knock of 35 of 49 in that final, even. But to be frank, unfortunately, Rohit Sharma, he's probably one of the best players to not win the ODI World Cup. It's going to remain that way. He's 37 right now, and He's probably not going to play 2027 ODI World Cup. Most probably won't. So, all in all, India got completely outplayed today, and unfortunately, a lot of things got exposed in this game. Um, Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli for the first time did not. Both of them didn't go on to play big knocks. Although Rohit Sharma scored 47 of 30, Kohli also did fairly well, 54 of 63. But when Kohli got out, India was in uncharted territory in this tournament because now they had to get India a competitive score without Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli to help them, and they failed. To be very honest, except for Kohli and Rohit Sharma, I have to say everyone else failed today. KL Rahul, I don't know what happened to him today. 66 of 107 with only 1 4. I mean that's a very
He is
bad
totally
angle.
useless cricketer. Useless.
Who?
Very
KL
KL
Rahul.
Rahul was
No
playing
No,
need
very
I
of
well
KL
mean,
until this
Rahul.
no,
final.
I mean today's knock, yes, I think he only scored one boundary. I feel like he should have scored more boundaries. Like we saw the flow between Head and Labushang. Even if when they were under pressure, they managed to score boundaries. But I feel during that partnership between Kohli and Rahul, I felt like there was no intent. That was the thing I feel. And I think definitely, I think Rahul got the nerves today. Definitely in the second innings, I didn't see that ever in the tournament. But I think since it was a World Cup final and playing under 130,000, I think definitely Rahul felt that pressure, and a lot of errors came from Rahul today in terms of keeping. But I think he has kept well throughout the tournament. I think he just had a bad day today, and you cannot blame, like he's not even like the number one keeper also for India. If Pant was there, I think definitely Rishabh Pant would be playing in that team, but unfortunately he's not playing due to that
Pawan,
injury. And
Ishan
then
Kishan. Ishan Kishan is your
Well,
prime option. Why
we
not use
can't
Ishan Kishan?
But still,
criticize.
still, Kunal, I think KL Rahul at number five, that was fixed, right? Even before the World Cup. And Ishan Kishan, usually, if I'm playing him in ODIs, I would feel he should play as an opener. If he's playing in the middle order, I don't think he would contribute that much than being in the opener. So I think definitely 2027 World Cup, we can see Ishan Kishan definitely being in the opener once, obviously, Rohit retires. So that's where the opportunity relies on Kishan. And I hope. I mean, I don't know about KL Rahul's future in the ODI team, but I think definitely it will give a chance now for Kishan and Pant definitely coming back to see who's the number one wicket keeper now.
To be very honest, look, all we know KL Rahul did not do very well today, but he was doing well throughout the tournament. It's easy to say in hindsight after somebody does badly that we should have chosen Ishan Kishan, but Ishan Kishan also didn't make uh, Ishan Kishan didn't make use of his opportunity in the very first match against Australia. If you see, he got
Mm,
out for a golden duck.
true.
When target is only 200, you play a stupid shot against Mitchell Stark of all bowlers, and you nick the ball to slips. Showed his inexperience. KL Rahul was doing very well throughout this World Cup, and the team management had every right to believe that he will do the same in the final. Unfortunately, I have to say that after this has to be the end of Rohit Sharma and Rahul Dravid's reign as captain and coach because they have done well in these two months, but unfortunately, we have come without a trophy. They've been in charge for 2 years. We
But
still
Rahul,
do
don't
not.
you think, like, I mean, Rahul, yes, Rohit Sharma, I think his captaincy is definitely ended, but Rahul Dravid, I don't think he will get the sack. Even if India didn't win the World Cup, I feel like maybe they should continue with Dravid until at least like the Champions Trophy in 2025, and then maybe one or two more ICC tournaments and see, because there's a 2020 World Cup coming next year as well. So you cannot immediately make sudden changes and move on to a new coach. Plus, I don't know if Hardik or I don't know if Rohit and Kohli are in the plans for the 2024-2020 World Cup. I don't know
No
about
chance.
that, but for sure, I think they've been going with Hardik and Rahul Dravid, I think, over the last 2 years when it comes to the 2020 World Cup. So I don't see Rahul Dravid getting the sack right now. But yes, maybe in 1 or 2 years, if
To
they can't
be
win next year, even I feel maybe he might get the sack or even the Champions Trophy.
mm, To be frank, I don't know. Let's see what happens. I think this is the right time for Rahul Dravid to go, and I don't know how much longer Rahul Dravid is going to stay, because he also has family and all that, and he's already played, been a cricketer himself, and he's
So do
coached
you
for
do you
like
think like
2 years
VVS
now.
Lakshman
But
should take
I
over?
have to say this, that over these 2 years, we have to be frank, it's not just Rohit Sharma, the captain, but Rahul Dravid, the coach, has also messed up on so many levels. Only these last 2 months they got it together, and the only thing that was going to save their job, in my opinion, was winning the World Cup trophy, because you can't be good for 2 months and out of 2 years, and still not have a trophy, and then
Hmm.
say you should keep your job based on being good for 2 months out of 2 years. I
Yeah.
feel that's not the right way to go about it. As far as the Champions Trophy is concerned, uh, I think Rohit Sharma should give his captaincy to somebody else, even if he's still playing. That is fine, but maybe give the captaincy to
But who
somebody
who
else.
who are
Name
the
them as captain
contenders for
for
the captaincy
2027.
though,
The
Rahul? The problem
contenders
is
would probably be Shreyas Iyer, Hardik Pandya, and KL Rahul. Unfortunately, they're all injury prone, but Rohit Sharma himself is injury prone, so we don't
I
really
don't
have
think
good
Hardik Pandya is the
alternatives.
best choice though. I don't think Hardik Pandya is the best choice.
We
Seeing his injury record and seeing him getting injury prone in every tournament possible, I don't know whether he is the right choice to move forward. Even in 2020 cricket, I feel like Hardik might not be the good choice in
To
terms of
be
next year
honest,
2020 World
Pawan,
Cup.
we don't really have any good choices going
Yeah,
forward.
exactly.
I have to admit, we don't have. We have to choose the best bad choice. That is what is there. I think maybe for ODI, you let KL Rahul lead, let Hardik Pandya lead the charge for T20, and hope that by playing in just single formats, they will not get injured very quickly. They will not tire
Yeah,
out.
I think Hardik should just retire from Test. I think because he's being injury prone for so long, I feel like he should give up in certain formats and just focus. Maybe just focus only on 2020. I feel, and India should look for a new all rounder going for the 2027 World Cup, in my opinion. Because there is Washington Sundar, there is some good all rounders over there in India. I feel that are coming up also in the domestic. I think they should try to find a replacement for Hardik in terms of in ODI cricket. But I feel Hardik just should focus on 2020 cricket, in my opinion, because if he focuses on many formats, I think he's definitely going to be injury prone. And I don't think even in Test, I think the selectors are looking at Hardik. So I think he should just
Hardik Pandya being selected for tests is completely out of the question. But we look at Hardik Pandya's fitness even in T20 games, even during the IPL. How many times does he go off the field and come back
yeah.
as captain? He can't survive the rigors of an ODI cricket match, and he's never going to be your bowler who will give you 10 overs in a game. I
Hmm.
don't think that's ever going to
That's why I
be
feel
the
like
case.
KL Rahul is more of a safe option than Hardik, because I don't think, I mean, KL, yes, he got injured recently, but I don't think he gets recurring injuries than Hardik, in my opinion. In case if Hardik gets injured in the middle of the tournament, then that could be a huge of a disaster when it comes to next year 2020 World Cup, in case if he's given captaincy though. So that's why I would feel like a player like KL Rahul or someone who is fit throughout that tournament. Maybe when Jadeja also is a good option, maybe in terms of captaining
To
India, because
be
he's
frank,
being in
I
the
don't see Jadeja being a captain. I know I'm basing this off of IPL, but I think the captaincy is also bringing. If you notice for CSK in 2022, captaincy, it's not just about his leadership, but it brought down his own performances. So we don't
true.
want a situation like that with Jadeja. Plus, Jadeja is again old. He's not going to be captain for too long. If you make
Yeah,
him the
that's
captain, you
also
need to
true. Yeah,
choose
great
somebody
point.
in their early 30s. They will not be too old, and also they will have experience. You
Hmm.
need someone in their like late 20s or early 30s to lead
But
the team.
Rahul,
And
don't you think that they should bring back Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli back? I mean, in terms of the 2020 setup, I know that like
I
the
think
selectors
no.
don't want Kohli
See,
and Rohit to be in the setup,
to
but I
be
feel
to
yeah.
be very frank, I think the answer is a simple no. They've already had their chance in T20, and as good. players as they are, they did make India lose the T20 World Cup last year in the semi-final. Rohit Sharma with 27 off 28, Kohli with 50 off 40, and plus T20 is a youngsters format right now. Everyone is
Hmm.
bringing in youngsters into their team and fresh faces and playing with a modern day T20 approach. We will never achieve that with Rohit Sharma and
Yeah, I know
Virat
Rohit
Kohli
might be out.
team.
I feel like Kohli may have one more 2020 World Cup in up his sleeve. I don't know whether like India will win or not, but I just feel like
To
Kohli
be
with
very
this
frank,
current form right now.
Kohli's form in T20, I mean, he can accumulate runs, there's no doubt about it, but his strike rate is a little bit of an issue in
Hmm.
T20 cricket. He takes a long time to settle.
Yes.
He doesn't fit the modern day template for T20 cricket.
Yeah, yeah,
And
true,
T20
true.
cricket is a youngsters format right now. So you have to give chances to youngsters in that
Hmm.
format. You can't keep on going back to old players. Then we will become daddy's army like CSK in IPL. That's how it'll
Yeah,
be.
agree.
Uh,
I think even Surya Kumar Yadav could be a good shout out for captain because I think he's captaining next week. I think in the 2020 series against Australia in just a few days. So I think they're trying to
in a
test
few
the
days, yes.
captaincy of Sky as well.
Probably
So
you could try Surya Kumar Yadav as the captain of the Indian team. Maybe have him instead of Hardik Pandya, and we have to basically stop going with the emotion of just anyone
yeah,
who
I
wins
think the
an
IPL
IPL.
logic should just stop. I think that it's just stupid to just see. I mean, Rohit Sharma, yes, he won 5 IPL titles and everything, and yeah, he led India very well in until the finals. But I think this IPL logic of winning
To be
trophies and all doesn't justify whether you can lead in a national team. In my opinion,
Yeah, to me, okay, it's fine. You gave an IPL winning captain the captaincy. Where I'm not saying you should ignore them because they won the IPL, but right now, Rohit Sharma came in with a lot of promise as captain, and I know I'm saying this from a fan point of view, but the promise was that India will win trophies right, left, and center once Rohit Sharma becomes captain. That was even
hmm.
the talk in after India lost in 2019 itself. That
Yep.
make Rohit Sharma the captain. He's got winning mentality, winning DNA. We will win. Be like 2000s Australian team. Even people were saying.
Yep.
But now it's been 2 years. Okay, he's been given a chance now. It's been 2 years, and we have not. There's still no trophy. You can't say we will. You can't make the promise that we will become a winning team overnight, and then also say wait 2 years. It takes time. It can
Yeah,
either
because I mean, even Virat Kohli didn't get a chance at home actually, like to lead in a ICC tournament, and people backlash Kohli for his captaincy for not winning the ICC tournament when he did well in the test cricket. I mean,
to
when
be
India were
very
number
honest.
one. Yeah,
To be very honest, in limited overs, though, I mean, Kohli did make mistakes as captain. Kohli and Ravi Shastri did make mistakes as captain and coach in limited overs cricket when they were in charge. There is no uh, denying that. But when Rohit and Rahul Dravid took over, actually things went backwards for the majority of these 2 years rather than forwards. And if you
yeah,
look at before the Asia Cup, where was Team India? We were not thinking in any position to prepare for World Cup. June, July, and August, India played only three ODIs, and even in that, we put out second string players. Rohit and Kohli both sat themselves out of those games. They were taking a break. KL Rahul and Shreyas Iyer were coming back from injury. We were praying for them to come back from injury so that we can bring them in the team and somehow get them back into form. By magic, it all happened. They came back to form. Bumrah came into form. Somehow by magic, everyone came into form. We won the Asia Cup, came to the final unbeaten, but our luck ran out today in the final. Unfortunately, India completely ran out of luck, and here we are.
Yeah, okay. Okay, guys, a few questions from you, both of you. So, first of all, Rahul, if we see Surya Kumar Yadav, means I am not really satisfied with the Surya Kumar Yadav performance. Means what he is doing, I think he is better than him. Ashwin will be better if Hardik Pandya is not there. I think Ashwin will play better knocks than him today. Surya Kumar Yadav has good chance that he can make India at least the total of 250. I'm expecting 250, 255, something that type of total from him. But Surya Kumar Yadav not be able to hit. Okay, so don't you think Rahul now put Surya Kumar Yadav out of the ODI structure? No place for him now.
And to be very frank, you cannot see. Actually, I've been saying this long before the tournament, but Sanju Samson has not been done justice at all. Sanju Samson, I'm not saying definitely he would have done better than Surya Kumar Yadav today, but look at this selection of Sky. He has shown he doesn't even have the temperament for an ODI game. He thinks this is T20 that you can just come in and bash the ball around in any situation. This is not how ODI cricket works. I've been saying this and I've received a lot of flack for it, saying that Surya Kumar Yadav is selected. I've sometimes said because of Mumbai Indians quota, but that aside, um, Surya Kumar Yadav shouldn't even be in this World Cup squad. That is the reality. That is the fact. And Sanju Samson deserves a place over him. He has an average of 55 in one-day cricket from just 13 games. Yes, he has played mostly against weak teams, but you don't give him a chance to play against strong teams. Then how can you criticize him for playing against only weak teams? He can only play who's in front of him. You don't give him a chance against strong teams. Then how will he perform? The team management loves to say backing the players. I want to say something. This backing the player, backing abilities, which all team management seem to be very fond of using, is just a catchphrase and an excuse to defend mediocrity. That is the reality of it. Surya Kumar Yadav, after being backed for his abilities, one or two innings here and there, he played well, but he is still massively inconsistent. And today, again, he showed his inexperience. Okay, in the semi-final, he got out for one or two balls trying to hit a sixer, but at least in that situation, you can say it was the last over of the game, and India already had a big score on the board, so nothing to lose. But in this game, when you're struggling to bat 50 overs, and you're the only recognized batsman over there, you get out playing a stupid shot like that, trying to play scoop the ball over the wicket keeper, scoop the ball over fine leg. I mean, is this the kind of shot to play as a recognized batsman when your team is in trouble? Absolutely pathetic. And to me, I think Sky has to stick to T20 cricket.
Only.
He's not a one-day player unless he proves himself, changes his game massively. I will say he should be out of one-day cricket.
Okay, Pavan, when we see the team India lack of good all-rounders, we don't have a perfect uh, replacement of Hardik Pandya. That lacks
Hmm.
us really well. And one more thing, Pavan, that we are quietly dependent on Mohammad Shami. That yes, with the help of Mohammad Shami, we can win it. But
Yeah.
we have no sixth bowling option. We have seen same thing against New Zealand also, but score was relatively big. That's why we win it. So what are you
Hmm.
thinking that now this is a time for Team India to make good all rounders, pick some good all rounders in the team who can replace Hardik Pandya? Do you
Yeah,
think?
that's why I said now earlier also. I think Hardik Pandya should only stick to 2020 in in my opinion. If he's getting recurrent injuries, because it's been now 3 years or whatever now since Hardik Pandya has not been fit now, and I think obviously playing IPL, being a captain also of IPL team, I think it's been strenuous for him. I think, and obviously him being a all round as well, him bowling 7 overs. He has to bowl 7 overs max in a ODI match. I feel like it's getting difficult for Hardik Pandya now too, and because he's aging also, I think it's very difficult now for Hardik Pandya to do both the batting and bowling role in ODI cricket. So I think India should somehow find someone in the domestic circuit. I think should give chances. I feel Washington Sundar is one option. I feel like India should trust on, but I'm not sure about his injury concerns also at the moment. So I think India should just
I think
go and
Saurabh
see.
Dubey.
Washington
Saurabh Dubey is
Sundar,
another option.
unfortunately, unfortunately with India, all the all rounders like on the radar right now are spin bowlers. Hardik Pandya
Yeah,
is our
Shivam
only
Dubey is there.
all-rounder
I
who's a
think
pace
Shivam
bowler.
Dubey. I think even what Sundar. I don't know, like fast bowling all rounders. I don't know if India has one. That's my issue.
People are trying to say talk as if Shardul Thakur is a pace bowling all-rounder, but he's
No.
performing. Look, Shardul Thakur is an all-round in the sense all-round once in a blue moon performer with both bat and ball. Once in a blue moon he performs. Be
He's
it
good in Test cricket. He's good in Test cricket, in my opinion. Shardul Thakur, I mean, in terms of batting, but I don't think in limited overs Shardul Thakur can be relied as a batting all rounder. I think even Aksha Patel getting injured, I think that was a big blow. I would feel, because Aksha Patel might have played a few games, in my opinion, if the pitch was turning, rather because they didn't give Ashwin a chance, because Ashwin hasn't been playing much games when it comes in ODI cricket in the last 3 years, whereas Aksha Patel was playing games, and plus he's a good batter as well. I think Aksha Patel, if he was fit, he would have definitely played a few games more than what Ashwin has
But
played. I think
Pavan,
Ashwin only played one match.
But Pavan, when it comes to the plan of Rohit Sharma is saying that I am getting the team according to me what I want. So Rohit Sharma, if he's picking R Ashwin in place of Akshar Patel, means there will be some plan for R Ashwin also that he
No,
will
but
play in
that
that
that was because
particular
Aksha
match.
Patel is
But he's
injured,
playing
right,
only
Kunal?
one. But
That was
he's playing
because
only one match.
yeah,
How?
one match is because Ashwin wasn't the ideal choice when they went for the World Cup squad. I mean, Ashwin was in the sidelines, but then when Akshay Patel got injured, was where Ashwin came to the squad. But Ashwin wasn't in the plans because he wasn't playing much regular ODI cricket. He just performed in one series against Australia recently, and then he got the chance. But then when it comes to the batting, we cannot rely Ashwin more than Akshay Patel. Akshay Patel is more of a batting all rounder. India see that seven. That's why they choose a squad playing 11 based on their batting abilities more than their bowling. So that's why Aksha, in my opinion, Aksha Patel, if he was fit, if he was 100% fit, he would have played a few games even extra than Hardik Pandya. Sorry, more than this guy Ashwin, and Shardul Thakur wouldn't have got a chance at all. Shardul Thakur, if I'm not mistaken, played I think 2 or 3 matches. In my opinion, I don't think Shardul would have got that chance if Aksha Patel was fit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
of course.
I have one thing to say is that as much as we are critical of Surya Kumar Yadav, I really don't think. I mean, Kunal and I have been having a lot of discussions about it. And Kunal asks me every time, should we replace Sky with Ashwin? He has asked me many times on previous
Yeah, of course. Today
shows,
I
but
think it was
I
better
actually,
because I think at
in
least
spite of
Ashwin can
Surya
play
Kumar
100
Yadav
But
strike
why
failing
would you
today,
at
change the
least.
winning combination?
I
That's
really
the thing, Kunal.
see in spite of what happened today, I am really sticking to my guns on this and saying from this squad what we chose. Sky was our only option to replace Hardik Pandya. Ashwin would not have done really. He wouldn't have done anything better than Sky in today's match. In same
Definitely.
situation, if he came, he wouldn't have done anything
That's why I
better.
feel like
Shardul
Aksha
Thakur
Patel would have been a better
and
choice if he
Shardul
was fit.
Thakur would not have done anything better. And a lot of people are saying this team management did very well during the World Cup. Had Hardik Pandya not gotten injured, they would never have given Mohammad Shami a chance. Imagine if in the semi-final when Daryl Mitchell and Kane Williamson were going great guns. Just imagine in that semi-final if we had Hardik Pandya and Shardul Thakur bowling instead of Mohammad Shami, they would have lost us the match. They could have lost us the match, probably. In spite of Kane Williamson and Daryl Mitchell having that partnership, we were still very confident India would win because we had Mohammad Shami bowling. Mohammad Shami took 7 wickets in that semi-final. Hardik Pandya and Shardul Thakur put together wouldn't have done even half of what Mohammad Shami did in that match.
Agree. Yeah, that's why I feel like India. I don't know. Now, when it comes to the current setup, I think they, even in domestic, I feel like they're not producing much fast. I mean, fast bowling all rounders. I feel back then we saw Kapil Dev, we saw there was a generation of good all rounders, but I don't know, like, because you need a backup, right?
Because
In case
see,
Hardik Pandya gets
I think
injured.
the reason for this is, see, IPL is again IPL. Too much focus on IPL because okay, IPL, yes, it produces talent for T20 cricket. I agree, because those T20 players, they play alongside and against the international cricketers in the IPL. So that produces talent. I am not denying that, but that is becoming too much of the central focus right now. You can't focus on just IPL. Look at domestic cricket also, especially when you're selecting teams for like Test cricket and ODI cricket, because in our domestic, I don't know if you're aware, Pawan, but in our
Yeah,
domestic setup in like Ranji Trophy and Vijay Hazare Trophy, which is the list A tournament, there are
yeah, yeah.
38 teams to choose from, like 32, 38 teams to choose from. You can
Mm,
produce have a much bigger pool of players from 38 teams than you can have from these 10 IPL teams. You won't
yeah.
get too many all rounders if you're only looking at IPL.
Hmm. Agree. Yeah, so that's the problem. I feel they need to definitely, I think, search for some other fast bowling all around, but I think it's going to be very difficult because I don't think there is a player to replace Hardik Pandya at the moment other than a spin play. I mean, spin all rounder. So that's what I feel. That's the case because what's happening, because obviously the pitchers also, I think in Ahmedabad, I think mainly suited for the fast bowlers. I think today we didn't see much turn in that pitch today. I think Zampa has been brilliant in the tournament. We need to give credit for him, and I think even Kuldeep has done his maximum what he can. But I feel like yes, India. I think they didn't have luck and just I don't know. They just faded today. I think
To be
Australia was
frank,
just too good.
Ahmedabad was never a spinning paradise. We
Yeah.
saw that even in the IPL. It was never a spin bowler's paradise. It's hardly a bowling paradise, let alone for
Yep.
spinners.
Yep.
It is a batting friendly wicket, and India did not capitalize today. 240 was never going to be enough on this wicket. We had hope when Australia was 47 for 3, but we knew we needed constant wickets,
Wickets.
but that never really came. That partnership between Head and Labuschagne completely killed India's hopes, and have to say it's going to take another 3 or 4 years at least for India to win another ICC tournament. This kind of a glorious opportunity will never won't will not come every time. I
And
think in the
Could
Rahul,
could be very
T20
difficult
in the
also.
T20 World Cup, India is hosting along with Sri Lanka, but we don't know where the team will be from there. And that's a T20 format. It's more unpredictable than this
Yeah.
ODI.
And
and
Australia keep on
Rahul,
getting strong as well. Australia,
Yes.
England, those teams are getting strong as well. So it's going to
Australia
be very,
has
very
done really
difficult.
well. See, in an era where most teams are doing horses for courses selection and are choosing different players for different formats, you look at Australia; they've got so many players playing
one
across different
spinner shot,
formats, and they have
only
achieved
coming
success
with
in
one
World
spinner.
T20 2 years ago. This year, they've achieved success in World Test Championship um, and what is it?
And I
Yeah,
think I
In
remember
Odyssey
that
World
Today.
Cup,
Kunal,
Sorry, how did I forget? Yes.
yeah,
So
before the tournament started, I think Kunal was criticizing that Australia were one short of spinner. And I mean, we cannot forget Maxwell's role as well in this World Cup. I mean, he's
yeah,
been
absolutely.
tremendous. I mean, especially the
And
bowling as well. I
I
think
would,
yeah,
yeah, I would go on to say that this Aussie team is even as much or more dynamic than the Ricky Ponting and Steve Waugh era Australian team. This current Australian cricket team is very what to say. It's very underrated, even by Australian fans. A lot of Aussie fans will probably tell you that the glory days were under Ponting and Moira. They're really missing out on what they have right now. They have overlooked what they have right now. They don't realize what they have now is really great as well.
yeah. I think that's because I think most of these Australian players they don't focus much on franchise cricket. Even when they're in Australia, they try to play domestic cricket more than franchise cricket. I think that is
While the
the
Big Bash League
difference.
is going on, Pawan, while the Big Bash League is going on, Australian players are playing Test cricket.
Yeah,
That's when Australia plays Test cricket. Will
yeah.
India ever play Test cricket while IPL is going on? That'll never happen.
Yeah. And so I think that is the difference I think the IPL has made to these Indian cricketers, unfortunately. So yeah, it's going to be take a long time. That's why I feel like
Yeah.
Dhoni's captaincy, that era, I don't think anyone can match. I don't think these Indian cricketers present or
You
or
can
future can match what
you
Dhoni
can
did
see how
during that era.
India screwed up in Test cricket this year in the World Test Championship final. We played IPL till the week before the tournament. We were not prepared at all, and in fact, if we don't make another World Test Championship final again, I'll be completely happy. I'd rather see us not in the final than be in the final and not even prepare for it at all and get humiliated again. I'd really rather not see India in the next final.
Let's see. Pant is coming, so who knows? Miracle will happen again.
We need to see, how Pan plays. First of all, I think next IPL only we'll see how he's
I
back fit,
Most
mean,
and then
probably India versus
probably,
England series, 25 January onwards.
mm,
yeah, but they can't straight away bring Pant right to the playing level. He needs to play some domestic matches also and see his form before bringing him back to the India
and
squad.
every
So
time, every time magic will not happen like it did with this Asia Cup and until this World Cup final. Unfortunately, I wish I could have said Asia Cup and World Cup, but we didn't win the World Cup, so I can't say. Really, to be frank, 2.5 months of hard work has gone, down the drain. It's uh, it's
I
come
think
But
to
Australia
Rahul,
won a good toss as
come to
well, but I
zero.
don't. I was surprised that Rohit wanted to bat first in that pitch in Ahmedabad. Seeing the dew at night, also, I was surprised that even if Rohit won the toss, he would have batted first, and that would have been the same
I'm
result.
not
So I think,
very surprised, Pawan, because in a knockout game you always want to bat first and get runs on the board. You can put the batting team under some psychological pressure, and this is why in the World Test Championship final earlier this year I was very critical when Rohit Sharma chose to bat second. You can't batting fourth as it is in a Test match is always a challenge, and you do that in the World Test Championship final. Why would you choose that? Uh,
mm, yeah, true. Yeah, so I think India. I don't know how to go ahead than this. They're focusing IPL too much this time. I don't know what's going to happen in the 2024-2020 World Cup also, because I think it's in
or
June, and then obviously they'll prioritize
well,
IPL, and then players might get injured. So I don't know how
well,
the next
to
2020
be
World Cup
frank,
is also
I
going to
mean
go for India.
the only issue with IPL before the T20 World Cup is the fatigue factor that is there. But look, if you're talking about preparation for a T20 World Cup, then yeah, IPL is fine. When you're playing a tournament where all the international cricketers are there, see, actually, you can't make that as an excuse because most of those international cricketers who are going to play the T20 World Cup will most likely be playing the IPL as well. So it's the same for everyone. You can't make an
But
excuse
we don't know the
saying
pitches
that
how they're going to behave in USA and West Indies. So that's going to be a different scenario, because I don't think
again.
ICC tournament has been in USA or
Again,
West Indies since
the Pawan,
2007.
I mean, my argument there is that it's the same for everyone because most of the players are going to be playing in the IPL before the T20 World Cup. I don't think
Mm.
anyone is going to skip IPL to prepare for the T20 World Cup because both are in a T20 format
Yeah,
itself.
yeah,
So
true.
they will play the IPL before it's the same. Everyone is in the same boat, so
Mm.
we cannot really excuse that we played IPL before the T20 World Cup, so we didn't
Yeah.
perform over there right now. But look, India shouldn't. I have very low expectations of India for the T20 World Cup next year, with or without Virat
Yeah,
Kohli and
because they
Rohit
are
Sharma.
obviously not prepared. I
So
think teams
look,
like
what we
England.
have
No.
to do is 2026 T20 World Cup, that's in India and Sri Lanka. We should mainly build towards that and see what happens with the 2024 T20 World Cup and try to build towards 2026 and try to win it at
Yeah,
home.
because I
I hope
think,
West Indies doesn't win next year's World Cup. I want India to be the first host nation winning the T20 World Cup as well. So
okay.
yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, so guys, what are your views on Travis Head? Of course, he made us loss in World Test Championship also. His great knock, and now his great knocks coming in IPL, World Cup final also. So Pavan, starting from you, how you see the Travis Head now?
I think brilliant comeback from Travis said, because I think he came after injury. I think midway to the tournament, and need to give credit to the Australian management, even Cummins and the coaching staff for keeping Travis Head in that World Cup squad, because they could have replaced Travis Head with another player. There was because Australia were trying to look for another specialist spinner. There was Tanvir Sangha. There were other players in that squad that could have replaced Travis Head. But credit should go to the whole team for sticking with Head, because Head is a player that can give a good comeback. I mean, that's what he gave in the final. He's a game changer. He did it in the WTC final. He did it now in the World Cup. And I mean, Travis had really changed the momentum, I think, of that Australian team. Obviously, Mittelmaß had to step down for Travis Head, but I think that was the right move from Australia, right move from the coaches and Cummins. So, need to give credit. And Travis Head is a clutch player. He did it in the WTC finals. He did it. He played a magnificent knock today. I think under pressure, 3 wickets down, he stick. He played slowly. He started a bit slowly, but then obviously as runs were flowing, he somehow got into the rhythm and somehow scored runs, scored boundaries, even if they were under pressure. Even if the spinners came early as well, Travis Head was not puzzled. So brilliant knock. I mean, he played a matured knock in a World Cup final. I think he was the second player to score a World Cup century in a chase after Aravinda De Silva in 1996. So that's great to see. I mean, it's not easy, obviously, to chase in a World Cup final, obviously against your crowd as well. You don't have much Australian supporters. It's fully Indian, and being against your nation as well, and him playing such a knock like that is just incredible. So full credits for him, and for me, I think he's the most improved player this year. Definitely, he's the best. Player this year for Australia, in my opinion, has to be Travis Head. In all 3 formats, he's the most improved and he's the best current player, in my opinion, with the way that he's performed in both Test and ODIs. Hope he can replicate that in 2020s also. I think the 2020 World Cup coming next year, and I hope Travis Head has a bigger role, because he can bowl as well, he can bat, he's a good field as well. So if he can just sustain those injuries and just keep his fitness, I think he can go a long way. And I think IPL teams will definitely target Travis Head for sure next year. I think he will be one of the hot properties when it comes to the IPL auctions next year, in my opinion, along with Rachin Ravindra.
Yes, that catch was really excellent. What a catch of Rohit Sharma. I
Absolutely.
love it.
And I have to say, actually, before Australia, during the mid innings break, I was actually thinking that we need to get Travis Head out early. We will get Warner out some way or the other. I had no doubt about it. He got out. He should have gotten out first ball. He got out in the second over instead. But I feel like more than David Warner or Steve Smith or Marnus Labuschagne, Travis Head will be the danger man for India, and we have to get him out early. I was saying this to many of my friends and family as well, but he didn't get out. I mean, he got out, but it was too late by then for India to come back in the match. And yeah, 2 times this year, World Test Championship final, World Cup final, he has uh, killed India's hopes. And to be frank, though, I wasn't very heartbroken about the World Test Championship final. I knew India would lose. Okay, playing IPL until 1 week before the final, you're not going to do anything against a team that prepared very well for the final. I didn't expect much to happen over there, and we lost badly. Okay, fine. But playing in a World Cup at home, being unbeaten until the final, and then still not lifting the trophy. Yeah, it is heartbreaking. This defeat stings the most. If you really think about it, Josh Inglis is an ODI World Cup champion and not Rohit Sharma. It's unbelievable.
Okay. Okay, so coming to Pawan. So Pawan, can you tell me the difference met what Australia have done different from league stage? In league stage, we see Australia struggling in some middle overs also. Means Pat Cummins, personally, he was struggling, but in semi-final and final, he step up. So what was the change from Australian side,
I
you
think
see?
change came. I think in the against Sri Lanka. I think they lost the first 2 matches, and then the third match against Sri Lanka. So there's two scenarios where Australia actually changed, in my opinion. One is in that Sri Lanka match, actually, because I think 125 for zero, if I'm not mistaken, Sri Lanka were, and
Yes.
then that Pat Cummins spell, especially getting 4 to 5 wickets. I think that match, I think that definitely changed. I think Australia's momentum, in my opinion, in terms of World Cup. I think Pat Cummins also got more confidence, I think, from that spell. I think that also improved his bowling as well when it came to the knockouts as well. He got some confidence because before that, I don't think the Australian bowlers were getting much wickets other than Zampa. It was only Zampa who was getting wickets, the spinners, and the fast bowlers weren't getting much wickets even because Stark didn't have a good World Cup. We know how good Stark has been when it comes to the previous World Cup, but this World Cup, I think he was a bit under par in my opinion, even though today he stepped up somehow in the final, but I think throughout the tournament he has been under par. And Cummins stepping up in that match against Sri Lanka, I think that was a game-changing moment. And then definitely that Maxwell knock. I think that 201, I think for sure against Afghanistan because Australia were 91 for 7 and they were about to lose to Afghanistan. But I think that knock from Maxwell definitely changed the World Cup. Even I thought when after that knock, I felt like Australia can win the World Cup with that knock from Maxwell because I think that definitely boosted the whole dressing room. That gave the confidence for Australia that they can somehow win the World Cup even if they had a rough start. So yeah, I think the changes definitely dropping Carey as well after one match and bringing in English, seeing how English played in the warm-up matches. I think that was a bold move from Cummins. I think because English at times he provided runs for Australia in that middle order. So I think definitely Maxwell had a very good World Cup in my opinion, doing it both with the ball, with the bat. He scored against Netherlands. He scored that 100. I think that gave confidence for Australia. And then against I think that Afghanistan knock also, I think 201 was brilliant. Zampa had a brilliant tournament. I think nobody realizes how good Zampa has been in this World Cup, but he has been brilliant, especially in the middle overs. Him and Cummins in the middle overs, really, really underrated, I think, the way that they've been performing. And I think even Hazelwood has been good at times. He's not been consistent throughout, but at times when needed, especially in the semi-final, I think Hazelwood has done well in terms of bowling the power play. I think Stark stepped up, I think, only in the semi-finals, finals, expected a bit more from Stark, but I think he did his job when it was needed the most. I think Stark did picked up early wickets in the semi-finals and finals, and that helped Australia. But yeah, I think obviously those two scenarios only I think helped Australia win the World Cup. I think especially mainly I think is that Maxwell's knock that helped Australia definitely changed the momentum in my opinion. I felt
Okay.
like Australia will win the World Cup from that onwards.
Okay, Rahul, we have lots of discussion after.
To be frank, I wanted to add something on. I
Yes.
mean, specifically about Mitchell Stark. I mean, I think Mitchell Stark is one of my favorite Australian players, probably my favorite among this current crop of Aussie players. And I think one big reason for that is he said no to franchise cricket a long time ago. He prioritized playing for Australia. He said, if I want to stay fit in playing for Australia, I have to not play IPL and the BBL. And he has done that. He has always prioritized international cricket. I always respect such people because it's very easy to get lured by all the money on offer in franchise
Mm.
cricket and, just say goodbye to international cricket. But Mitchell Stark did not do that. 2015 and 2019, Mitchell Stark was the highest wicket taker. Of course, in his third World Cup, you don't expect it to be as good as the first two, and you don't expect him to be as sharp, especially having come back from a lot of injuries and all that. Yeah, he was very patchy at points in this World Cup. He's been a little bit inconsistent and up and down, but he's an unsung hero of this Australian team. Uh, he has stepped up his game in the semi-final. He got two early wickets and put South Africa on the back foot along with Josh Hazelwood. In this final as well, actually, Mitchell Stark outbowled Hazelwood with the new ball. If you saw, Rohit Sharma was not taking too many risks against Mitchell Stark, and he was going after Josh Hazelwood and Glenn Maxwell. And then when India was having the collapse, Stark came in and chipped in with a couple of wickets. He finished with 3 for 55 in this final.
Final,
He
yeah.
really he stepped up his game when it mattered.
Mattered the
He's a
most. Yeah, that's what I was also
yeah,
trying to say. Like he stepped up when it was needed in the semifinals, finals. But when you see Stark throughout, I mean, the last two World Cups, I feel like yes, he didn't step up when it was needed in the group stages. But when it mattered the most, I think Stark really stepped up. So I think yes, he cannot be the highest wicket taker all the time. I mean, yes, we warmed that Stark to be vintage, but I mean, with age also, I think it's a bit difficult for him. to be consistent in all matches. So I think Stark did
and
what he can in the
and
semi-finals,
he
finals. So
has
we need to be
he's got
grateful
a
for that.
skill that a lot of people take for granted. It's a thankless job, but wiping off the tail very quickly. A lot of
Mm.
people might even see his wickets and discredit him, saying he only dismisses tail enders, but dismissing tail enders is important. You want to finish off an innings quickly and press home
Even
the advantage, you
Pakistan
have to
not be
dismiss.
able to pick a single wicket of
See,
South
if you want
Africa.
to press home the advantage in a match, you have to dismiss tail enders quickly, and Mitchell Stark does that. He presses home the advantage, even if he doesn't get wickets with the new ball, he'll make up for it by pressing home the advantage given by the other bowlers. It's a very underrated skill these days, easy to take for granted.
Mm.
Okay, last question of the video. So Rahul, we have a good discussion after defeat of World Test Championship. Means important discussion means workload management. Means I don't know what for Indian players what is workload management. They are taking vacations 2 3 months, not playing series properly. They are doing experiment. So Rahul, do you think now this should not be there in Indian team as of now
Well,
because you
look,
are not be able to win
see,
the trophy?
workload management, it's important to an extent, but it should not be overdone. You have to see the schedule and plan accordingly. That's what you have to do. And workload management, it should only really be seriously considered for Mohammad Shami kind of or for pace bowlers in general, and bowlers on a broader extent. But you shouldn't have to do so much workload management for a Virat Kohli or Rohit Sharma, who are batsmen. I mean, for God's sake, they are batsmen. They're not an injury risk like Mohammad Shami or Jasprit Bumrah. So, and if you look at the schedule India had since June, they were okay. After the World Test Championship final ended, there was actually no cricket in June at all for Team India,
Yeah.
ODI, Test ODI or T20. In
Mm.
July, there was only two Tests and three ODIs. Rohit
Against
Sharma and
West
Virat
Indies,
Yes, Rohit
and that
Sharma,
was in
Virat
West Indies
Kohli, Ravindra
also.
Jadeja, these three they didn't play the T20 leg of the tour. They didn't play those five T20s against West Indies in August. But so all they had to do was play two tests and three ODIs. Even in that, they skipped the three ODIs. So they've been having a break. Then all of August was off before Asia Cup. So this is too much rest. You're doing more rest than playing cricket, and that is not acceptable in my opinion. The workload management can be done by having different players for different formats, because if you have somebody playing all three formats, you want them to be fit and play most of your games. And but if they cannot do that, you have to maybe lighten their workload by designating them only for test or only for ODI or only for T20, in whichever way you want. You take each person accordingly and see how they will fit into the team. And you also have a look at the schedule. Use some common sense. Don't when you have very few matches scheduled already. Don't rest players for those games. Also, that is absolutely stupid.
Mm.
So workload management has to be done, but it should not be overdone. It should be done using common sense. Don't simply give people rest just for the sake of giving rest.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think I agree completely. I think yes, upcoming now they have to focus on 2020. Obviously, the upcoming series against Australia is going to be vital now for India. I feel, yeah, I think bowlers definitely need to get the rest. I don't understand. I'm happy that, like, I mean, Sky and all shouldn't be rested. I mean, they should play because they've not done much of a role in this ODI World Cup, and I think players like Sky, KL Rahul, they should play
But
this
when
series. I
T20
don't.
start, first player is Sky for us.
Okay, I'm okay with some of the World Cup players, most of the World Cup players skipping this T20 series. That is fine. It's a World Cup. You came till the final. Sometimes a break is uh,
Yeah, I mean
deserved,
seniors definitely. I
and
mean Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli. Yeah, for them it's okay that they're
they
getting
shouldn't
rest
even
because this is
return to T20 in my
yeah, they
mind.
don't play. But I
But
mean, and Hardik is
see,
injured obviously. But I
well,
think
I
KL
want to.
Rahul, Surya
Yes,
Kumar Yadav. I think these players should play. Even Shami. I feel yes, maybe Shami is a. I mean, he's not that
pace
much
bowler.
injury prone, but I
Yeah.
feel and he only played 7 matches. I feel maybe he
I
should
don't think
play
Shami
the.
is good for T20 anymore because he also leaks runs. He can be expensive in T20 cricket. Shami should just stick to ODI and Test. I want to address Abhinav's what Abhinav's comment. Sky will take revenge of this defeat and he will score 130 balls in first T20 match versus
30
Australia.
balls, 100
Okay,
in first
look,
match. Yeah. We
uh,
all are
I'll tell
expecting.
you one thing,
In
Abhinav.
T20, Sky is
Painkillers
expecting.
do not work all the time. I call this series against Australia, I'm calling it a painkiller series because, after every ICC tournament we lose, we schedule a bilateral series and then we win that bilateral series very easily and then we'll forget the World Cup loss. Our sorrows will be drowned. But that cannot happen every time. Painkiller bilateral series after a World Cup will not cure our pain all the time. Sometimes pain is meant to last permanently, and the pain will continue for Indian fans today.
And
We don't care about this 5-0
but
bilateral series win. If it happens, that will not take away our disappointment of losing a final. I'd rather lose this bilateral series 5-0 to have the World Cup trophy.
mm.
Of course, yeah, correct, correct.
Yeah, I think that's a valid point. Yeah, I mean, we don't even know the squad that Australia are going to put in. Also, it could be a B team that they're going to put
Australia
and rest
squad
all
is
the
there.
players.
Actually, 7 players
Australia
from
is
this
there.
World Cup squad are there in this T20 squad. I don't understand why. Look, actually, it's my opinion in general that there should be no international cricket. There should be a curfew on international cricket for 2 weeks after an ICC event. This is my opinion because you need give time for teams to reflect on the results of the World Cup, and for the team that wins the World Cup, like Australia in this case, you want them to have time to savor their trophy. Go home, celebrate with the fans, have the parade and all that. You want to give them
Yeah,
time to savor the result. So having these 7 players who are in the T20 World Cup squad will they won't really come with much enthusiasm for playing a T20 series. They won the ODI World Cup. I mean, give them the time to celebrate.
Okay, how many of you know about Legends League cricket that started from yesterday,
yeah,
from
I saw the
Saturday?
yesterday. I think
I haven't
scorecard. I
seen
didn't
Irfan
it.
watch the
Pathan,
match, but
19 ball 65. 19 ball
yeah,
65,
Irfan
Irfan
Pathan
Pathan.
scored
One
65
boundary
on
and 9
19. Yeah.
sixes. What innings, yeah.
Okay, it's all old cricketers.
Yes. Yes, actually, lovely to see Irfan Pathan batting. Yeah, his batting and bowling. Lovely fan of his batting. Yeah, really.
Yeah, but I think mainly people are focusing on the World Cup rather than watching Legends cricket at the moment.
And one more player,
Everyone
Tilak
was
Ratne
wanting.
Dilshan. One more player I like, Tilak Ratne Dilshan. His
Yeah, but
bowling,
I
his
think he
batting
got
is
out for
great.
one. I think
Yes,
yesterday. I think
yes.
Udana got a catch. I saw the replays, but yeah, I
To
was
be frank,
in.
Tilakaratne Dilshan should have been opening at this World Cup. He'd do much better than these than the
Of
openers
course.
Sri Lanka has got right now.
Yeah, that is true. Definitely. Yeah, Dilshan would have. I mean, remembering about 2015 World Cup back then, I think Dilshan, Sangakkara, the way that they were
His Dil
playing
scoop
back
shot
then
was
was.
very famous. Dil scoop shot.
Yeah,
Really.
I mean those
Absolutely.
legends. I think can't be
Actually, a
replicated
few
right
days
now.
back, I think a little bit premature, I gave a ranking of all the captains in this ODI World Cup. Maybe I should have waited till after this final because I put Rohit Sharma number one uh, a few days before in real hope that India was going to win this World Cup. I was so confident that India would win this World Cup. I think
But
now
false hopes.
Rohit Sharma and Pat Cummins have to switch places on that list. Pat Cummins is number one, to be frank. Rohit Sharma can be number two. Pat Cummins number one. But really, the worst captain in this World Cup is Shakib Al Hassan. I think I put Dasun Shanaka at the bottom, but actually I changed my mind. Shakib Al Hassan is at the
Now he's trying
bottom
to
for
enter
me.
politics. Now he's trying to enter politics next year after Bangladesh qualify for ICC Champions Trophy.
To be frank, Shakib Al Hassan should be out of cricket. Yeah, let him do whatever politics nonsense he wants. I think he should be out of cricket. After, his career should be over after this World Cup.
Yeah, I
First of
think it's
all,
definitely over. I don't
terrible
think he'll play the
captaincy.
next 2020 World Cup.
Look at he's not what to say. He may be a great cricketer. He's not a nice person. To be frank, if you recall before the World Cup, he got Tamim Iqbal dropped from the team, saying if Tamim Iqbal is included, I won't play the World Cup. He threatened, and he got Tamim Iqbal dropped from the team. and you drop Tamim Iqbal in favor of who? Tanzid Hassan, free wicket. He was throughout the World Cup. Tanzid Hassan, out of 9 innings he played in this World Cup, he got out for less than 20 um, in 7 innings. This is not
I
how
think
an
against
opener
Australia he
performs.
scored a good knock, but otherwise I don't think Tanzid
Tanzid
Hassan had a
Hassan
good World
scored a
Cup.
half century against
The half
India
century.
also. He scored, but see, 2 good innings out of 9 is not good enough for an opener, and that too, you put in a total rookie. Tanzid Hassan
But
is a
the
total,
issue, Rahul, was that Tamim
total.
Iqbal was only fit for 5 matches. He himself has told Shakib that he was fit for 5 matches, only can't play all the 9 matches, and that's why I think Shakib wanted him out. That's the scenario that has happened. Himself has said that
Okay.
he can't play all the 9 matches. He only can play 4 to 5 matches, and he can only open in 4 to 5,
I
and
mean,
the rest he
Iqbal
can't
himself
play.
is kind of stupid. That I'll have to agree. See, when you're just a few months away from World Cup and you're the most experienced batsman, why not maybe say this is my last World Cup? Announce it. Do what Quinton de Kock did. Play 9 matches and play with your full passion. What you played so many years, these 9 matches in such an important tournament, you cannot play. That is that is not
That's the issue why I think Shakib and the
fair at all.
Bangladesh cricket board actually dropped him, because if Tamim Iqbal was fit to play all the 9 matches, I think definitely Tamim Iqbal would have been in the squad like Mamdullah, how he was playing. At least even if he can't open, at least play in the middle order. At least who knows
And
what
another
Tamim
thing is,
Iqbal can
Shakib
do.
Al Hassan could have made Mehdi Hassan open the batting instead of Tanzid Hassan. He never did that as well. And you looked at the Bangladesh top order; it's constantly rotating, except the openers. The batting order keeps changing with every game.
Hmm.
Was changing with every game. They looked
Yeah, I think
totally
surely
lost and
Bangladesh
confused,
underperformed in
absolutely
this World
clueless.
Cup.
And
Because I
finally,
expected I expected better from Bangladesh, because a lot of people were saying Bangladesh can make it the semi-finals. They can be at least in the top six.
no,
Yes, they
no,
qualified
no.
for the Champions Trophy, but I feel that this squad was the best opportunity for them to at least get in the semi-finals if they had Tamim Iqbal. But I
And
mean,
so many years,
politics
Bangladesh was
entered.
saying ODI cricket is our strong format. This is how they've performed in so-called strong format. And finally, Shakib Al Hassan. Well, we have to talk. We no conversation about Shakib Al Hassan is complete without talking about his timed out dismissal of Angelo Matthews. That was clearly what to say a low-class move from
And
Shakib Al
probably
Hassan.
the
I have
most
to call.
talking point of this World Cup also is from that incident
That's
also. So I mean,
I
yeah.
mean, classless move and basically tainted win for Bangladesh to basically save his campaign.
Others, I mean, Netherlands deserves it more than Bangladesh, in my opinion, when it comes to Champions Trophy,
If
because the
if
way that
Bangladesh
Bangladesh played
if, if
in this
Bangladesh has any self-respect, they should withdraw from Champions Trophy and let Sri Lanka or Netherlands play instead of them. They are undeserving.
definitely, I agree. Because Netherlands, the way they played this time, I think real credit. I think they played better than Sri Lanka and Bangladesh. To
Scott
be honest, I
Scott
mean,
Edwards is
Netherlands
a
should.
fantastic captain, in my opinion. I think he will really take Netherlands high if Netherlands is given enough opportunities by ICC and they get enough cricket against big teams. They can really become good. He has led the team very well. If you notice, Netherlands team they were even taking notes of all their tactics, all the matchups,
Hmm.
and who to bowl when, who to bowl to which batsman. Such detailed analysis they were doing. It was beautiful to watch. Of course, Hashmatullah Shahidi did very well
Yeah, I
too,
think
and
Afghanistan need to be given a lot of credits the way that if they beat Bangladesh in that opening match,
fantastic
I think they had a
coaching by
big
Jonathan
chance.
Trott.
They
To
had a
be
big
frank,
chance of qualifying to the semi-finals if Bangladesh beat Bangladesh, but unfortunately they lost. And then against Australia, they had another good chance to win, but they couldn't win those two matches. I feel if they won, I think Afghanistan definitely would make it to the semi-finals. But I think huge credits for them. I think they've definitely been the underrated team. I mean, in this tournament, nobody expected Afghanistan to perform this well. I mean, and winning 4 matches and giving tight matches, except I think for India, maybe I think, and England, I think maybe I think sorry, only against India they didn't do well, but the other matches I think they did really well. They fought really hard, even against New Zealand. I think they fought hard, especially I think Omad Sai had a brilliant World Cup. I think being the all round, I didn't expect Omad Sai to score runs. I mean, Shaidi promoting Omad Sai to number 5 and him scoring this much of runs. I didn't expect that. And then I mean, he's the definite standout player for Afghanistan, in my opinion.
Okay, okay, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Dream World Cup for Afghanistan. I even thought at one point that this will be their version of 1983. What 1983 World Cup was for India will be 2023 for Afghanistan. I was even having such dreams for them. Of course, I don't want them to defeat India, but I thought they would really surprise us and make the semis at one point. They were very close to doing it. I mean, one catch of Glenn Maxwell away from it.
So
Yeah,
one
Mudib
joke from
stopped catch,
Abhinav.
yeah, of Maxwell, and then two chances they missed. I think
What
that costed them.
what is you'll have to
But
Abhinav
translate
is
they
this.
saying
definitely played better
something.
than Pakistan. They definitely
Yeah,
played better than
definitely.
Pakistan in this tournament. Afghanistan
Pakistan
clearly
was full of
second.
Pakistan. I mean, the butt of all jokes, full of whining and excuses. Even long before the World Cup, we won't play in India if India doesn't play the Asia Cup in Pakistan. They were threatening.
Hmm.
Then after getting a great welcome in Hyderabad and all that, and enjoying the biryani, defeating Netherlands and Sri Lanka, then came Ahmedabad. Crowd is no good. Music is no good.
I think Sri Lanka lose due to
Everything
Pathir
not good.
one and
Then
one
against
concern.
South Africa, finally the umpires are not good. DRS is edited against us.
I
Basically,
think Pakistan
them.
win against New Zealand. Only New Zealand.
To be frank, they
But that was
even
luck
that
also,
win
no,
over
Kunal. That was the
that was
DLS. Otherwise,
Duckworth
I don't
Lewis.
think Pakistan would have chased 400. I don't think Pakistan would have chased 400 if
I don't know
not
if you're
for
aware, Pawan, but
DRS.
Pakistan, once upon a time, they're still the most successful team in the Hockey World Cup. They have the most Hockey World Cups, and now they don't even qualify for the Hockey World Cup at all. I am afraid this Pakistan team will end up going down in cricket also, and will be reduced to playing qualifiers like West Indies. You look at this
Okay.
team and you look at Mickey Arthur coming and making excuses after getting defeated, saying crowd is not good, the music is not good. See, first of all, if I was PCB chairman, I will. No, if I was PCB chairman, I will fire this guy immediately. Not only do you get humiliated on the field, but you talk nonsense in press conferences, giving rubbish excuses. And
Yeah, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
that is
Pakistan,
Mickey Arthur's
they were
nature,
number
anyways.
one before the Asia Cup. You might have noticed, Pawan, how their media and fans are all flaunting it, saying we are the number one team. This team is invincible. Nonsense.
At least the
After what
cricketers had
defeating
some sense though in this tournament,
after
at least.
defeating after defeating Australia C, New Zealand C, and Afghanistan, bragging about number one. Asia Cup, they finished last. Actually, no, because Bangladesh defeated in India, Pakistan ended up finishing last in the Super Four in the Asia Cup. I don't think many people noticed it, but they
Okay,
finished last,
Rahul.
But I
and
think
they
they did
won
the right
four
move
out
by
of nine matches in this
sacking Baba
World Cup.
Azam. I think they did the right move by sacking Baba Azam, though. I think it's time for him to focus on his batting only, just like what
Yes. No,
Virat Kohli
Babar
is doing.
Azam
I
is
think,
very clueless as a captain. People think Virat Kohli is clueless, was clueless as an Indian captain. He was way better in limited overs than Babar Azam.
but I mean, at
Ever.
least he led them to a finals in the 2020 World Cup that we need to appreciate, and then
Oh, come
Pakistan
on, that
beating India
one.
also in
See,
the
that one
20.
also came. That one also came because South Africa versus Zimbabwe washout, and Netherlands defeated South Africa. And
That is true.
Babar
Yeah,
Azam is a little bit fortunate with because he has a decent team, decent pace bowlers, and all that. In the 2021 T20 World Cup, yes, they made the semis unbeaten, but even there, against big teams, they were chasing. And first time when they had to bat first against a big team, came in the semis against Australia, and they botched it. They
yeah, that I
they
agree.
lost, but
But I feel like making Shaheen
he's
Afridi
overall. If you
captain
look at
in.
his tactics wise, Babar Azam is really not very impressive because when things are going well and going fine, then Babar Azam does very well when things are going according to plan. But when you look at when all teams have now figured it out against the Pakistani bowling attack, I can say that from this World Cup.
But I think Baba Azam shouldn't have resigned from Test cricket. I don't know why he resigned from all three
Uh,
formats. I know he was in anger or whatever,
Probably
but I
he
think
should
in
have
Test
stayed in
cricket,
Test cricket. But what I'm saying is, in limited overs cricket, I think with this World Cup, all teams have figured out how to handle the Pakistani bowling. Do not give wickets to their frontline pace bowlers, and
hmm.
we'll easily handle their spinners and get a big total against Pakistan. All the teams are have figured this out because Pakistan has not strengthened their spin bowling attack. They don't have strong spin bowling attack, and Babar Azam, no matter what, he will always make spinners bowl in the middle overs, no matter what the situation of the match. You can't
Yeah, I think
be
Sadab
rigid.
Khan
You
wasn't
cannot
having a
be
good
very
World
rigid
Cup.
like that as a captain, having a fixed template for every match, regardless of the situation. You have to play the situation. Also, you have to play matchups. Babar
But
Azam
I think
doesn't
he had limited
do that.
resources though, because I think Nawaz was having fever, he was getting injured or whatever. Shadab Khan wasn't also having a good World Cup. That's why I feel like he had limited resources. I think in terms of spinners, plus the spinners
There
weren't in
was
great
South
form.
Shakil, Aga Salman. He somehow
But
brought
those are
in
part-time spinners, right?
some no namer, or
Usamar Mir,
Usama Mir
yes,
came in
there was
all of a
Usamar
sudden.
Mir, but I think he's inexperienced. It was his first World Cup. I mean, playing
See,
in ICC tournaments, so that also came
that
into
is
play. So,
also that is also a mistake on the part of the team management. You can't just bring in any Tom, Dick, and Harry who started playing international cricket yesterday and make them suddenly play in a World Cup game. You can't do that. South Shakil and Aga Salman, actually, strangely, Aga Salman was part of the 2016 T20 World Cup squad that played in India. Most of these Pakistan players have not played in India except Mohammad Nawaz and Aga Salman. You could have tried Aga Salman a little bit more,
yeah,
hoping
but
that
he was brought in
A
more as a
message
batter,
for you,
right? More
Rahul.
than a bowler. I don't think we saw much of Aga Salman and Saud
so maybe
Shakil
even
bowling
South
much more
Shakil,
than
you could have.
Iftikhar Ahmad.
Maybe, yeah, okay, they were trusting Saud Shakil. They didn't trust Iftikhar Ahmed enough with the ball. They were hoping Shadab Khan would somehow find his form and get wickets. That didn't really happen. Biggest disappointment of the tournament has to be Haris Rauf.
Yeah,
Okay,
definitely.
because he has given away lots of runs. Yeah, he got wickets here and there, but he was the most expensive bowler. I think he gave 500 runs in the
500
tournament.
plus runs. Yeah,
He's
very
become
disappointing tournament.
meme material, frankly. Uh, People are saying highest run getters, and they show Haris Rauf.
But I'm
Yeah,
not happy like with Shaheen Shafridi given 2020 captain. In my opinion, I feel like Rizwan should have been given both 50 over and 20
I
over
think
captaincy. In
I
my
think the
opinion,
reason for Shaheen Afridi becoming the T20 captain, I think he's the ODI captain too. But I think the reason given for that is him winning back-to-back PSL titles with the Lahore Qalandars. But
but I mean, even
you
Rizwan
can't.
has won a PSL title, right? I mean, with Multan Sultans. Plus, he has led. I mean, well, when Baba Azam was rested or whatever. I mean, Rizwan is a trustable captain. He gets his tactics right. I mean, yes, he's
He
definitely going to
probably
be a.
should. Generally, I think it's a big risk with Shaheen Afridi as an international captain because PSL is a little bit different. Maybe he's PSL captain in PSL because he's one of the more experienced players in the team. But mm, international cricket is a little bit different, giving a pace bowler, especially Shaheen
Plus,
Afridi,
they have
who
a good
can be
squad as
injury
well. I mean,
prone.
Lahore Qalandars have a good squad. They have Rashid Khan and all these players or whatever. That's why they're
It's
winning
always a risk
PSL
to give a
easily.
pace bowler captaincy. It's working well for Australia with Pat Cummins, but it won't work for everyone.
Okay,
That much I will say.
okay,
Agree.
guys. One joke that has been given by Abhinav that Shakib is too punctual means if a wife is not coming 2 minutes later, he will not marry it.
Timed out. uh, uh, Sorry for this joke, Pawan, but I hate to say it, but unfortunately, ICC did timed out with Sri Lankan cricket.
Yeah, that is really unfortunate. Means almost last World Cup for Matthews. Really
Yeah, but I
unfortunate.
think Sri Lanka, I think the ban's going to be lifted anyways, I think next month. Anyway, Sri Lanka didn't have any series until January. So, and the under 19 World Cup is in Sri Lanka as well next January. So, I don't think like ICC are planning to change the venues. I think tomorrow there is an important meeting, I think, with the ICC and Sri Lanka cricket. So, I think by then, I think we'll know how the suspension is going to be and whether they're going to change the venues for the under 19 World Cup. But I think Sri Lanka should get that ban lifted, I think, very soon. So I think that's the news coming on. But let's see,
Yeah,
can't say
let's
what's
see.
going to happen with still political interference going on. So I don't know what's going to happen, but I hope the ban gets removed, because it's not good for Sri Lanka cricket to be suspended like this. I mean, a reputed country like us, so which
Yes.
produce many legends. So it's not good. Like when Sri Lanka cricket are being suspended right now. So we need to get that batch removed fast, because we don't
Yeah.
get paid by ICC. We can't play any bilateral series, I think, according to rules. So I mean, it's affecting the players plus, and they only can play domestic cricket. So that's going to affect the players and the coaches and all. So I just hope that the ban gets removed very quickly, so then Sri Lanka cricket can be back and then focus on the
Well,
2020 World Cup
one
next year. That's going to be crucial, since there's 20 teams.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one positive for Sri Lanka in this World Cup is Dilshan Madhushanka. I think he finished as the highest wicket taker, if I'm not wrong, of this
Third
World Cup.
highest
Not
wicket taker.
highest
No,
Third
wicket
I,
taker
I
highest.
think
is Zampa.
Shami and Zampa
Zampa.
took more
Zampa
wickets.
overtook Dilshan Madhushanka. Okay, my bad. But anyway, really great
Top five.
performance
In
from
top five.
Dilshan Madhushanka in this tournament. I mean,
He
he was
definitely
taking
deserves
wickets
IPL
regularly with the
contract.
new ball.
I think he definitely deserves IPL contract. I hope IPL teams don't now release all the Sri Lankan players just because the ban is there. I don't think it affects franchise
Mm.
cricket.
I
So
hope we release all Bangladeshi players in IPL and Lanka Premier League as
because
well.
I heard news that IPL teams are planning to release all the Sri Lankan players because they are banned by ICC. But I hope that they don't do that on Teakshan and Patiran and all these players.
Hopefully the ban will get lifted before that, and the players will be chosen. I think, let's say if it's not lifted before the auction day, which is I think December 19th, then have a separate auction for Sri Lankan players on another date and give them a chance. I mean,
Yeah.
well,
I think definitely
So,
Madhushankar deserves, because I
uh,
think if I'm not mistaken, he's playing in SA20 for Durban Super Giants. So I expect Lucknow Super Giants to target Dilshan Madhushankar,
okay, yes.
in my opinion, because I think Justin Langer also. I feel like LSG might target. I think even MI will, in my opinion, but I think Madhushankar might be a hot property with how he played in this World Cup for sure.
one joke
Absolutely.
for you, Pavan, from Avinav, that Sri Lanka don't shake hands because Bangladesh player has not washed hands with live boy.
Wasn't Lifebuoy a sponsor? I think for Bangladesh, right? That's
Yes,
one point.
absolutely.
So
Yeah, all soap companies love Bangladesh for some reason, but I guess Bangladeshi players, I won't be surprised if they don't use soap to wash their hands.
mm, yeah, but yeah, and then there's another comment. Bangladesh Pakistan is happy today because India lost, but
Obviously,
I mean, first of
obviously.
all, they need to focus on their cricket as well with what's happening in their
Mm.
side as
Well,
well. Being disappointed.
to be frank, this rivalry goes both ways. Not exactly with Bangladesh, but of course, when Pakistan was in the 2021 T20 World Cup semi-final, India was knocked out in the group stages. In 2022, when Pakistan reached the finals, India was not there. We lost in the semi, so we were also celebrating Pakistan losing as much as they're celebrating our defeats today. I know they'll be very happy. Well,
And
yeah,
one
it goes
more
both
cricket
ways.
fan also there who will always say Dhoni, Dhoni. Only Dhoni is a World Cup lifter now.
Well, to be frank, very few Dhoni fans will openly say that they wanted India to lose today because of that factor. Even if that was the case, I don't think many of them will say it. But I think most Indian fans, Dhoni fans, are not Dhoni fans. Worse on India's side today, because most Indian cricket fans, they unite for one thing, which is supporting Indian cricket. At the end of the day, I still believe that in spite of the IPL rivalries and all that, Indian fans will unite for this World Cup, and you have seen it in the during the matches as well. How crowds are coming out wearing India jerseys. Full crowd is blue when India plays, and I'm sure most of them are. A lot of those fans are Dhoni fans as well. So you can't say that whoever is doing this trolling, they're probably on social media trolls. They probably don't go to the stadium much. Most of them, they're a small minority, and they won't go to stadiums to cheer India on.
And really heartbreak for me are when Narendra Modi gives trophy to Pat Cummins. That was really heartbreak for me.
And then he was shaking the Australian players and not letting them to celebrate. Also, he was trying to shake all the Australian
Yeah, that is
cricketers,
good.
and then I mean,
Well, you
Pat
have to
Cummins
that
had to
you
wait
have to
also.
do that you have to do, because probably if Modi ji did not shake all their hands, they'll say the prime minister is not showing sportsmanship. There'll probably be
Yeah.
some cooked up
Yeah, that.
stories. I'm not
Mm,
sure if you're aware, Pawan. You probably are because you're in Australia, but I think the World Cup in India has gotten a lot of negative coverage over there for various reasons right from the
yeah, yeah.
start. I'm sure the
Yeah, I
Australian
agree.
media has been covered it very negatively because, and the
I
English
think,
media as
yeah,
well.
it was, I think, mainly because of the pitches and all. I think no one was happy, I think, with the
Ye-
semi-final match against New Zealand when they changed the pitches and made it,
Well, to be
they
frank,
changed the.
we can see the result of the India and New Zealand match. There was really no assistance for spin at all, like raging turners, like people were forecasting. But there's been complaints about India hosting the World Cup right from the start, which is not much crowds for England versus New Zealand, they were saying. But they don't really look too much at how many matches were well attended. People talking about the pitches, people talking about how ICC is rigging the tournament for India. Okay, well, the result is now here for everyone to see. If ICC was rigging this tournament for India, then why didn't we win today? I want to know that. Why haven't we won for the last 10 years? If ICC can rig trophies for India, now I want to know: is it really rigged for India? Tell me.
Yeah. Yeah, this is also
Very
right
true,
comment
yeah.
from Avinav that if India win it, the credit goes to Modi that he is
See,
making
see if
Ahmedabad,
all
But
everything.
don't you
the
think like they could have changed
all
the
the
venue
talk
and
you
played
see
it
on,
somewhere else other than
Yes,
Ahmedabad?
yes,
Because
of
I feel like
course.
the crowd was not energetic today when India were
well,
down. They
India
were not
was,
backing Team India today. I didn't see
to be
anything
very
from the crowd.
frank,
It was just negative energy when India were falling bad. When
to
Kohli
be
and
frank,
Rahul were creating partnerships, when they were three down, I didn't see
absolutely.
anything from the fans. I feel like if it was in Wankhede or Eden Gardens or somewhere, I think the fans would have been more energetic, and plus they played more games also at those grounds, even
Well,
Bangalore,
we
I
have to
feel.
admit something, Pawan, with the way India played today. I don't think any crowd being energetic would have helped us. To be frank, I don't think. See, Australia really took the crowd out of it. Credit to them. They took the crowd out of the game. This is another complaint I've been seeing in all Western media, is that the crowd only supports India when India is playing. Well, duh, what do you expect when you're playing India in India? I mean, what do you expect really? If when India plays in Sri Lanka, also crowd only supports Sri Lanka. We don't complain about it.
True,
Uh,
I
I
agree.
don't. I mean, lots of things have been nonsense has been spoken over the tournament with India hosting it.
Yeah, that is true, but
ICC
I
is
feel
rigging it.
today,
Umpires favoring India, but at the end of
but
the day,
yeah,
India didn't.
maybe yes, credit should be given to the Australians for giving. I mean, silence in the Indian crowd, but still, I feel like the Indian crowd could have given the players a bit of a lift, could have made them encouraged by making some chance or whatever, even if the team was down. I didn't see anything from the crowd
True,
today
true.
at all, other than the. I know that India were on a winning note and then they won a losing cost here, but I feel like the crowd could have been a bit more better. I feel in terms of like the energy. I feel like it was a bit lacking today from them.
I guess so. Yeah, I guess the other criticism applies. Not too long ago, when India played Pakistan at this ground, the crowd was criticized for being too energetic. That's also there.
Yeah.
That is also true, but this is a World Cup final, right? I mean,
Yes,
it's a
absolutely.
different thing. I feel like if it was in Day, or because we've seen before in the 2011 final how the crowd was energetic from the first over itself, and how the Sri Lankan players were under the pump. We didn't see that in Ahmedabad today. I feel like from the first ball itself.
Okay.
Okay, no political stuff from
He's
Abhinav.
saying, can we
Will
win
we
under
win?
this government anytime?
Mm,
Waiting since 10, 12 years.
yeah,
Obviously, it's going to be more
maybe
than
ask the
winning next year.
government, ask the government to maybe select a team, and maybe.
Government only provides all the stadiums, made the Ahmedabad stadium and made India lose in the finals, making
Name
this
the
big
stadium. The
100,000.
stadium got named after the sitting prime minister. You don't really see too many places named after a current politician, and that happened. But anyway, uh,
And
So
making a
guys,
big.
just move on. Let's see
yes,
how
yeah,
Team
well,
India will bring squad for T20. Let's
mm,
see.
well,
But
well,
I don't
well.
think anyone's going to watch the bilateral series. Why are we going to be bothered to
Who's
watch
going to?
the?
I don't know. No, I'm seeing already a lot of Indians saying we're done with cricket. I mean, of course, anybody's fans will say they're done with cricket after they've lost in a
But
final.
I am not. I will watch.
I'm sure. I am sure lots of Sri Lankans said so after losing 2011 World Cup final, 2012 T20 World Cup final, 2007. It's normal
2009
among us
2020 World Cup
subcontinent
finals. So
fans.
four finals before winning the 2014 2020 World Cup. So yeah, so I mean we could have got fed up during that
Yeah,
era
well,
losing this much finals. I think same goes to the New Zealand fans also losing 2015 and 19 ODI World Cup final and
mm,
then the 2020 World Cup final also last year, but still the New Zealand fans fought. So yeah, I mean, yes, it's a heartbreak for Indian fans, not won ICC trophy for 10 years, but I think they should still back the Indian team, you know. I mean, they did what they can. Yes, they
I mean,
lost in
look,
the
I think
finals.
people will back the Indian team. There's no uh, doubt about it.
Yeah, we will back Rohit Sharma
I
to
mean, people will.
qualify.
Anyone in the heat of the moment, after losing a final, can say we're done with the cricket, but they won't actually do it because see, being a true fan is you support the team, expecting wins and losses to come at different times. You go on supporting the team even through tough times. That is what true fans do. True fans will never give up on the team.
Of
But do
course,
you think
right.
they should now it's time for Rohit Sharma to step down from ODI and only focus on Test? Or what will Rohit Sharma do now in terms of captaincy wise now after this World Cup?
I think it's the wise thing to do to step down from captaincy. He's had many chances right
Even from
now.
Test?
You can't keep on posing with your five IPL trophies to say I will definitely win us a trophy. You can't keep on doing that. I'm sorry to say. I would now say stick to Test cricket for both Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli. Let youngsters take over the T20 format. ODI format, you somehow build it up to the 2027 World Cup. There are many players who can take those spots. So just go ahead with that. I think the focus for Rohit Sharma priority now should be winning the World Test Championship. But we have to, if we reach the final in 2025, we have to do things differently from this year. We have to give it
I don't know
priority.
whether he's going to be fit to play 2 years of Test cricket also. That's also going to be a big doubt with IPL and everything. I'm
It's
not sure whether
possible.
Rohit
See, it is
Sharma will be
possible if
there.
you're only playing IPL and Test cricket, you're skipping all limited overs cricket. If you're only playing a single format, really, you shouldn't. You should never be taking rest during international cricket because you'll have sufficient rest from while the other formats are going on.
Yeah, of course. Okay, so Pawan, you are coming in your channel from tomorrow.
Hopefully, yeah. I've been a bit busy, but yeah, let's see. Let's see. Sri Lanka cricket been banned. I don't have much content to put also, so let's
Yeah,
see. I
content
mean,
is coming. India Australia series, South Africa series. So many
yeah,
content is there.
definitely yes. With WTC
And
and
Big
all coming
Bash.
up,
Big
Big
Bash
Bash
is
also coming.
coming.
Yeah, I think we should
Big
Interesting.
be
Bash.
coming back. So
uh,
let's see what
I don't
happens.
really follow other franchise tournaments too closely apart from
I
IPL.
follow
So
Big Bash. I like Big Bash.
more. Well, maybe I'll follow it a little bit this time, see how much I can follow.
But I
And
think Australia versus Pakistan test will be more highlighted
Yes.
than the Big Bash because I think it's going to be Warner's last test series. If I think Warner wants to retire from test, I think so. I don't know whether he's going to play that Pakistan series or he
One
will
double
retire
century
before the test
from
series. Let's see what's going to happen over there. But I think it
Well,
should be Warner's last
he
test
played
series. So I
his.
think people
He,
will focus on the test series rather than Big Bash now for
well,
sure.
he will. He played his last Ashes series back in July, so we won't see a Warner versus Broad anymore. Broad also
Yeah.
retired from Test cricket. So anyway, it's a big month for Test cricket. Actually, Bangladesh is playing New Zealand in a week from now, so the World Test Championship resumes.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, let's see, guys. We will come back tomorrow and have a good discussion about India versus
Definitely.
Australia T20 series. Let's see.
Yeah.
I
Who
don't
is
think
the
many people
captain?
will be following, other than the most enthusiastic cricket fans. I don't think a lot of people will follow that
Actually,
bilateral
I
series.
mean, to be
To
frank,
be
I'm
fair,
going to be traveling during this week. I don't think I'll catch too much
Okay.
of the India versus Australia T20 series, but I'll definitely follow it.
has
I
the
mean,
Australian squad
Scoreboard.
been released yet for the series? So I don't think
Yes,
so.
yes.
Australian
Already
squad has
released.
been
We will have a
released.
discussion tomorrow.
Very strangely, to your surprise, Pawan Smith and Warner are in that team.
Wow. I don't understand why they're not
Maxwell.
resting all
They
these
probably look.
players.
They probably will not play the first three T20s or so. I mean, undeservedly so. You've worked hard and won an ODI World Cup, a once in 4 years event. You deserve some time off.
But today,
But
bad luck for
then,
Smith. Don't take DRS. Really bad luck, yeah.
oh,
Today
oh,
for
oh,
Smith.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
definitely. I think I don't know why this 2020 series is played so immediately. I mean, just after the World Cup.
this
I
is
mean,
this
maybe
has now
after.
been a trend, Pawan. I don't understand it. Okay, in 2021 and 2022 it kind of made a little bit of sense because you had to compensate some fixtures after the COVID pandemic hit. Now it does not make any sense at all to be having a game like 3 or 4 days after the World Cup. It doesn't make any sense at all to me.
I think only
After
Cummins has been
2021,
rested in this squad. So I don't know what they're up
after
to.
2021 T20 World Cup, India had a T20 series against New Zealand, and that was 3 days after the final. So New Zealand, many of the New Zealand players had in 3 days had to fly from UAE to India to play the T20 series, and then.
Hmm.
After last year's T20 World Cup, just a few days after winning the World Cup, England played an ODI series against Australia, and those were played in front of mostly empty stands. Uh,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
this
okay.
year
That's the
again,
thing. I don't understand this series. Why Warner, Smith? I don't know these players
this
playing.
is a
Even I
big
think
reason. See,
Maxwell Stoinis,
there isn't going
Zampa.
uh, interest in cricket after an ICC tournament will go down a little bit for a few days. People want time to soak in the result and talk about the World Cup. So I feel there should be no international cricket for 2 weeks after a World Cup. You want to give this tournament the importance it deserves. It shouldn't be like a World Cup happens and then it's okay, on to the next thing immediately and forget the World Cup. That kind of thing.
It's only a five-match 2020 series, right? So
Yes.
I don't know why they're playing this immediately. I mean, yes, it was before the ODI World Cup. I think that they scheduled this, but I don't understand
No,
why
no, it
it's
was
such
scheduled for
immediate.
after the ODI World Cup. Before the whole schedule was ODIs before the ODI World Cup, and after the ODI World Cup is over, play the T20. Similarly with the Bangladesh and New Zealand. New Zealand is playing in Bangladesh. They played three ODIs before the ODI World Cup, and now they're
Hmm.
going to continue that tour with two tests and three T20s.
Mm. Yeah,
Okay.
I think Australia have so much cricket coming up after this series, and they have the Pakistan Test series to come. I think that's also, I think, all three formats, I think, against Pakistan in Australia. So nothing to for them to rest. I mean, all these players and they're not being rested. So I mean, yeah,
Well,
they're
most
focusing on the
of
2020 World
except
Cup
for
next
Smith
year.
and Warner, most of this squad will now get rest for the Pakistan series, which is beginning on 13th December. So
Yeah.
there
Yeah,
will
at
be
SCG, yes,
most of
first
these
Test match.
players in
Yes.
the T20 squad in India. They're not going to be part of the Test series against Pakistan.
Yeah, they're gonna play. Yeah, gonna play BBL. So yeah, except for Smith and Warner, so I don't know. I think those two also deserve some rest. I think
They will
definitely.
probably, I think they will probably pull out of the squad. That is my guess. After winning an ODI, maybe if they lost in the semis or group stages of the World Cup, it would have been a different thing. But they have won the World Cup and they worked very hard for it. I think now is the time. to give them some rest. And frankly, same
Yeah,
for
I think even
the Indian
Maxwell, I
team.
think also deserves a rest, because I think Maxwell doing all this bowling also, he just didn't do the batting as well. He was bowling 10 overs as well, not easy what he did. So I think he also deserves a rest along with Smith and Vaughan, and skip this series and then probably play a bit of Big Bash and then come back in the Pakistan ODI series. I feel Maxwell should do, because he's done a huge part in this World Cup. I think he deserves some rest leading to the upcoming bilateral series. I don't think this bilateral series matters that much. It's 8 months until the 2020 World Cup. There's a long time with IPL also to come. I don't think now is the time to focus all of a sudden for the next World Cup itself, just after winning a ODI World Cup also. So it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, of course. Let's see. So from tomorrow, we will have a good discussion about this series also. So thank you, Rahul, for your time. Thank you, Bhavan, and we will try to
No,
move
it's fine.
forward from this loss. But I know it will take almost 48 hours.
Yeah,
But
then
let's see.
definitely. I mean,
I think people will take maybe for maybe until the next World Cup to forget all that. Definitely until
well,
the 2020 World Cup
to be frank,
next year.
the first, I mean, since 2013, the first few times when we lost an ICC tournament, we have what I call the painkiller bilateral series, usually against West Indies or Sri Lanka. In this case, painkillers will only work for a long time. You can't keep on getting rid of the pain. The pain will
Yeah,
continue.
because losing a home World Cup, especially, I think that's going to be more hurtful than actually losing a World Cup in neutral venues. So I think this is definitely going to hurt
I mean,
Indian fans
the
and
2017 Champions Trophy, like I said at the start of this video, had its own pains. Of course, losing to Pakistan in a final, but
this is
that was
going to
a
be more
Champions
hurtful though.
Trophy. It's This is a home ODI World Cup. That loss is really nothing in front of today's defeat.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I think this is going to be most hurtful defeat for India, because losing a home World Cup, I think nobody would want to lose a home World Cup. I think last time it has happened, I think, is 2007, I think, when it was in West Indies. And
Yeah, of
obviously,
course,
West
of
Indies
course.
weren't a good
West
ODI
Indies.
team back then.
Well, that's a little different. See, West Indies never had any expectation of winning the World Cup
And
in
then England not winning a
2007.
ODI World Cup at home. I think they had, I
See,
think,
see,
1975 to 1983 and
West
then
Indies.
1919.
You can't really compare India losing this with West Indies in 2007. I mean, West Indies. I think if you asked any West Indies fan in 2007, will you win the World Cup at home? I don't think anyone will. They would have said, "Yeah, we're the favorites to win this World Cup." But this
Yeah.
2023 World Cup, India was a favorite, and there was the history of home teams
Hmm.
winning the World Cup in the last three editions. So India came on the
But I
back
think
of
India
that.
were favorites even in 2019 and 2015, I think, even, and they
Well,
still lost, even though it was in neutral
2015,
venues.
no. 2015, I will say no, but 2019, definitely, I thought India could win the World Cup. 2015, I didn't have hope, even though India went to the semis unbeaten, yes, but I knew we were not going to be good enough matching up against Australia or New Zealand once we get there. You look at 2015, actually, India had a very easy draw in the group stage. Only South Africa was difficult. Pakistan and West Indies were never going to be competitive against India, the other two supposedly strong teams. Then after that, it was all minnows, Zimbabwe, Ireland, and we had the luck of getting Bangladesh in the quarter-final because they knocked out England.
Do you think
Had
the
England
format should change, actually,
actually
Rahul? Do you think the
2015, if England reached the quarter-finals instead of Bangladesh, we wouldn't have even made the semis. Uh,
hmm.
in my opinion, frankly speaking.
But don't you think, Rahul, that the format should change? I mean, this 10-team tournament, I mean,
Yeah, it will
and
be
Actually,
bringing
it
back the
changed.
is
It will
going
be
quarterfinal,
to
changed.
change.
semi-final, final.
2027 and I think 2031, there are going to be 14 teams. So the format is going to be same as, see, the first round, same as 2011 and 2015. It will be two groups of seven teams each. Only variant
Yeah.
now is that the top three teams from each group will go through to a Super Six and they will carry forward points from the first round. And then from Super
Okay.
Six, semis, and final.
Yeah.
I think that's a good format. I think, rather than, because Australia also got the momentum after losing those two matches. So I feel like this 10-team tournament, I think, especially the format, I'm not a huge fan of it, especially all 10 teams, sorry, 10 teams playing 9 matches and playing each other once and then
Mm.
semi-finals, finals. I would rather
To
have
be
the either a Super Six stage or even a
to be
quarterfinals,
frank,
semi-finals,
Pawan,
finals.
when first of all, there should be more than 10 teams in a World Cup, in a cricket World Cup. That is my
Yeah.
first opinion. But let's say there are 10 teams in a World Cup. Actually, 10 teams is very small, so it actually makes sense to play a full round robin.
Yeah,
It
that's what
doesn't
I feel
make
like they should increase the teams.
it
That's what I'm
doesn't.
saying. Not
Yeah,
have
true,
10
true.
teams and increase the
With
number
10
of
teams
teams.
though, full round robin is completely fine. I would have actually. I know this is not the right time to say this because we just lost a tour. India just lost, but I would say that bring a play IPL playoffs format into the instead of semis and final, because
Hmm.
uh, you should. I think top if top two can get an advantage in a franchise tournament like the IPL, then why not do it in this World Cup, which is a once in 4 years event? I think
Definitely.
it's completely
Let's
fair.
I agree on that. Yeah, I think they should bring the playoff system. I think if there is a 10 tournament team, but I don't think from this tournament onwards they're going to make it back to 10 team tournament. I
Yeah,
think that's going
hopefully
to be
not.
like the last ICC tournament that's going to have 10 teams because they ICC wants to expand obviously and give other teams a chance. So I don't think with 20 teams participating in the next 2020 World Cup and then 14 teams in the next ODI World Cup that they'll come back to a 10 team tournament now from now onwards.
Yeah,
yeah.
hopefully they don't revert. But you never know with ICC. They did revert from 14 to 10, from 2015 to 2019. They can, I mean, they can do anything. They are known for doing things that defy logic. So
But I hope not because I think it's better to have more teams from the minnows. I mean, more teams are qualified and then make things interesting. Like in the 2020 World Cup, like more surprising results. We did see surprising results in this World Cup, but I like to see more teams participating and them getting more motivated because and get more ranking points and obviously play bigger teams in bilateral series. That's what I would like to see, especially teams like Scotland, Zimbabwe, getting a chance in ODI World Cup
yeah,
rather than
so
just getting in the 2020 World Cup
absolutely.
only.
Yeah. So actually, in a couple of days' time, I find this more interesting than that meaningless bilateral with Australia, which is there are
Because we are
T20.
seeing the FIFA World Cup also
There's
expanding from
act-
32 teams to
Actually,
48. So I
T20
think the
World
Cricket
Cup
World
has
Cup
brought
should
in a
expand.
region based qualifying system for this 2024 T20 World Cup. Now, 18 out of 20 spots are sealed for the next World Cup. So
Yeah, I
upcoming, I
think the
think in
Africa qualifiers are this month. So I
Yeah.
yeah,
think
it's
the
in three
finals,
days time, Pawan. It's
yeah,
actually being happening in Namibia. So I think most likely Zimbabwe and Namibia will come into the T20 World Cup next year. Kenya also
yeah.
probably can challenge them, but the other teams
I
I don't
think
see them.
maybe even Uganda, I think have a good chance. I think with how I don't know, but they could be a surprise team. I think Uganda, maybe Kenya, even I feel
And
those two teams
I
could be a
feel I
surprise.
feel top three contenders are Namibia, Zimbabwe, and Kenya. I don't see the other teams really standing too much of a chance. Maybe Uganda might pull off an upset, but who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah, you never know. Just like Namibia beating Zimbabwe recently in a bilateral series, even with and that's why they immediately appointed Sikandar Asa as captain of Zimbabwe. So yeah, you never know what happens in 2020 cricket. So very unpredictable. We thought that UAE will qualify for the 2020 World Cup, but then we
Well,
saw Oman instead of UAE taking part because I think UAE got knocked out by Nepal. So that's
yeah.
what happened
Well, I'm
in the
happy for
semi-finals.
Nepal, and who knows? Okay, this is my agenda. I think Nepal will become better than Pakistan and Bangladesh one day in
Let's
cricket.
see. Let's see, Rahul. We will
Bold
see it.
prediction. Bold
Huge,
predictions.
This is
huge bold
might be this
predictions.
will happen after 4 5 years, but not now. As of now, no.
Maybe when USA cricket could improve with the way that things are going over there in USA, I think
Well, USA
cricket could.
has a lot of hope. This year, Major League Cricket started. Then, and there's also below Major League Cricket, there's minor league cricket now. So
Yeah,
there's now an increasing structure, and I believe they do play some one day matches. at the local level. Test matches, of course, USA
And then a
doesn't
lot
have
of
test
international
status,
cricketers also
so
are coming to join USA cricket team. So that's, I think, a huge bonus. I think
absolutely.
especially Corey Anderson getting. I think next year he can play for the 2020 World Cup. I think
Yeah,
because
USA
only
is
needs two
hosting the
years.
2020
So
World Cup and I think Dallas, that stadium, Grand Prairie Stadium, which they had for Major League Cricket, that's going to be one of the host venues. Then Central Broward Regional Park in Florida, that also already has hosted lots of international matches. That is there. I believe for India
I
versus
think the India versus
Pakistan.
Pakistan match is going to be in New York, if I'm not
Yes.
Correct, correct.
mistaken. They've already planned that.
They've not constructed the stadium yet, but they're planning to construct one. Yeah, I don't know how they suddenly thought of New York for India versus Pakistan. Probably because New York is a big city in the US, so India versus Pakistan should be there. I'm surprised. You would think that West Indies, being the bigger cricketing nation, they would have it in the West Indies, but they chose New York, for the glitz and glamour. And
So is there a stadium going to be built by June, next June in
well,
New York? That's the biggest
it'll take
question.
a few months. Actually, stadium construction for the Major League Cricket started only this year, and they were able to get it ready before the tournament. So they probably will have it ready by then. Then in 2028, in the Olympics in Los Angeles, cricket is going to be included over there. So there'll be a stadium
Yeah.
over there. And now Major League Cricket has 6 teams. You'll soon see home and away format in Major League Cricket. So lots of stadiums will be built. You'll see new teams being added because in USA, and probably in Australia with the AFL and all that, all the sporting
Yeah.
leagues are played in home and away format. So that will
Mm.
definitely come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So many good discussion in this video already. So long live
Absolutely.
for me. So yeah, great video. So share this to
Send it.
everyone. Yeah, it
Yes,
was great
absolutely.
discussion. Yeah. So thank you very much, Rahul. Thank you, Pavan, for your time.
Thank
See
you,
you
Kunal.
tomorrow,
Yeah.
and we
No
will
Bye.
have a
worries.
good discussion. And tomorrow we will discuss the best playing 11 of this World Cup. Best playing 11 of all the countries.
All
Oh,
right.
all
Let's
right.
see.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah,
See
thank you,
you.
Rahul. Goodbye. Good
Yes.
night.
Goodbye. Good night.
So guys.